Welcome, everyone, to the Four Post Massacre Podcast. I am, of course, simply Zaya. I am the host of the show. With me tonight is none other than my colorful co-host. What is your name this week?
I got nothing.
What do you mean I gave you like 2 minutes?
2 minutes is not enough.
Literally? All right.
I got nothing this week. Sorry, everyone.
All right, we're going old school then. My co-host here tonight, the wonderful pot father himself, Adam Jackpot.
Yes, however, I got nothing. I feel so ashamed.
Hate you.
I feel like my whole life has been a sham, a lie. I don't know who I am anymore.
Well, thankfully, I won't have to just rely on you tonight, because tonight we've got a whole round table of people.
Round table.
To talk about probably one of the biggest weeks in wrestling in a long while. Just to go down the list, we've got Eris Williams.
Hey, folks. How's it going?
We got Downtown Jason Brown, who will be joining us later, hopefully. We've got VPOC.
Date bayo.
We've got Mr. Jacob Baker.
Oh.
And I think we got a Brit in here who just joined.
I can't stay. Can I be clear?
Uh-huh.
So I won't be on this. So I'll leave you all to the episode, okay?
All right.
But one, thank you to Adam for earlier on. Thank you, Adam. Took you 3 weeks. Love you, but thank you. Okay. Two, I'm just coming in saying hello to everyone else, okay? Because this is going to be a car wreck. This is going to be as bad. This is going to be as bad a car wreck as Bianca got done in at SummerSlam, ladies and gentlemen. There's your headline for the episode.
Hey, we'll get to that.
Well, I have to leave. I can't be on long, so I'm going to get that out straight away, okay?
Well, you know what? Before you leave, I just want to ask you one quick question. Since I am going to be taking over hosting duties, I will explain that in a second. But since you're here, because it's the only thing that really matters tonight's episode, quick opinions on the return to CM Punk.
Perfectly done. Perfectly done.
Yep. Perfectly
done. It's one of those. I said it in the live chat, last Friday night with Jason. With feedback in the call, with everyone when I watched it. One of those moments as a wrestling fan that you had to watch, if you get where I'm coming from. Yep. It's one of those moments as a long-time wrestling fan where it's one of those moments where you love it. Like, it's one of those you feel like, yes, this is why I watch this sport, okay?
Thank you, kid.
And trust me, you can have such a contrast within 24 hours. From something so euphoric and joyful to something so fucking shit and horrible. To any of you who, and this is just a forewarning, I will listen back to this podcast. To any of you who think SummerSlam was a decent show, hide if I hear that on this podcast from any of you all, okay?
Oh, trust
me.
Look at me. I will personally give my thoughts on SummerSlam when we get there, but...
Okay.
I liked a match.
Yeah, but that's all I'm going to say. I will say this, though. I hope you all have a fun time doing this, okay? I'm going to leave you all be.
All right.
So, bye-bye.
Explain and stuff.
All right, but we are going to get to SummerSlam. We are also going to get to a bunch of other shows, including GCW, NXT Takeover, and just a lot more other shows during our news segment. Also, we got a mystery box, considering the great round table that we have here. But for right now, we're going to go on to our AEW review only. Adam's going to take charge as host on this one, considering I will not be available very much for the next hour or so. So, Adam, with that, I will let you take control.
Cool. It's my time. My time is now. You can't see me. My time is now.
Oh, God.
Okay, John Cena. Adam John Cena.
And with that being said, now that the dad is out of the building, welcome to the Space Jam Podcast. It's all things Space Jam.
No.
Oh, he's still here.
I will listen to this back.
Oh, God damn it.
No funny business, jackpot.
Keep them in line. I'll keep them in line.
Well then, since that got squandered, we do have Dynamite to talk about, and we're gonna try and get through this Dynamite as quick as possible because we all know what we really want to talk about, and that's what happened on Rampage, and we will get to Rampage. But Dynamite, it's this is usually the part where I do the theme song. So, panel, sing the AEW Dynamite theme song.
Hit the fuse, bring the boom.
Yeah, good. We got it. Somebody actually said somebody did the lyrics right.
No, I got a better. Let's do
Dynamite! Dynamite! We go over there. Dusty Rhodes by night.
No, I got a better idea.
There we go.
Let's do the elevation theme.
Oh God, no. It's Dynamite. We are live, Houston, Texas tonight, and let's just kick it. We're getting right off to it. Apparently, Mox and Kingston are going to kick off the show for us tonight, but that doesn't happen at all because Daniel Garcia and 2.0 get the quick jump beforehand. This is going to lead us right into our first match of the night, a Tornado Tag Team match, as it's 2.0 taking on Darby Allin and Sting for the first time, and I believe they said 20 years on TNT or something like that.
Yeah, since the last Nitro in 2001.
Yeah, 20
so,
years.
I think gives the Cliff Notes of that match since I actually watched Dynamite last Wednesday. Good show, by the way. So, yeah, as Adam stated, Mox and Kingston was supposed to be the opening segment, but 2.0 decided to grab more heat to themselves and jump them. Well, they didn't realize that Allin and Sting was waiting for them. They gave the jump on them, and it's basically 4-on-3. Well, 4-on-3 with Mox and Kingston. Get into the ring. They start the Tornado Tag match. It's basically mayhem. The ending though, that was a kind of a sweet ending AEW did by letting Sting do. I'm not kidding. A double Scorpion Deathlock on 2.0.
Yep, I saw that.
Well, the entire ending of this match was great. Before that, there's a lot of really fun backstage almost type of stuff that was going on in the commissary. A beautiful, I think they call it 2 for the show, is the finishing move that I guess it's the double slingshot that 2.0 do. Except they do it. Except instead of to the ropes, they just throw Darby into the goddamn wall.
Ow!
Daniel Garcia ends up getting taken out before the match even gets back to the ring by Eddie Kingston, who shows up but is like, nah, we're going to take you away. Sort of like when you go to
somebody explain to me the relationship between 2.0 and Daniel Garcia?
The same way most AEW relationships go. Here's 2 people, here's a guy, let's put them together and see what happens.
And also, I don't see the big deal about Daniel Garcia.
Ooh.
Maybe he's starting to get some notoriety on Dark or something. I don't know. I like you said, I don't know much about him anyway.
He's a huge prospect on the independent wrestling scene. I've seen a lot of Daniel Garcia, especially the East Coast indies. Beyond Wrestling is a huge proprietor for Daniel Garcia. He's making a lot of headway lately. He's going to be fighting Minoru Suzuki in a few weeks.
Oh God!
Oh wow!
In California, yeah. No, this guy has a lot of great upside. I guess it really depends on the kind of wrestling that you like. He's more obviously a ground technical wrestler, so it really depends on how you see. And I think that's where him and 2.0 work well together. It's because 2.0 are so over the top.
Oh, okay. So it's like a opposites attract kind of deal.
Yes,
that's how I look at it. But yeah, we'll go right into the. So go ahead, V. I'm sorry.
I was about to say they are definitely a Canadian export.
But we'll go right into the ending here. We're back in the ring. Shit's going crazy. All of a sudden, there's a table. 2.0 gets Sting up and double powerbomb this man through a table. Sting says, "Fuck that shit." Gets right back up, beats his chest. Yells at both of them. Darby comes off the ropes, hits them with a double drop kick, which leads into a double Scorpion Death drop, which then leads into the double Scorpion Death lock. And Sting and Darby are your winners to kick off the night. Quick opinions. We'll shoot it from the beginning until the end here. So we'll start with Eris and we'll work our way down. Quick thoughts. What'd you think of this opening contest?
Oh, hold on.
Eris.
Oh shit. No. He's got his mic muted. Damn it.
Sorry, I heard. Pretty good match. I must say. Hell of performance from both teams. Anyway, sorry. My opinion is a little. It's a good match. I'll just say that. Continue. Next person.
Be next, and since Jason's not here with us
Me?
yet. Well, Jason's not here with us yet.
Okay, I'll get. Yeah, I to think a few months ago, 2.0 were doing absolutely nothing in NXT as Ever-Rise. And now now they went to AEW and are immediately thrust into this whole situation with Darby Allin and Sting.
Well, not just that. I mean, to be working not just with Darby Allin and Sting, but Kingston, Moxley.
Yeah. Not only that, but apparently Jericho spoiled on his podcast that they got signed.
Yeah, no, they are officially all elite. They got the little graphic.
Elite. Daniel Garcia is not all elite yet.
Not yet, but I give it time. I can definitely see it happening.
Oh yeah. So.
But overall, the match.
The match, yeah, was for the highlights I saw, because I unfortunately didn't get a chance to see Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
But from the highlights I saw, it looked like it was a pretty good match.
And we'll finish off with Jacob.
I'll say this: it's I love the fact that 2.0 are getting this beautiful rebound that they needed. They were unused talents in NXT as Ever-Rise, only used for like comedy gimmicks. But seeing them now in AEW, I'm actually starting to see the potential they have. Like they can become great heat seekers, basically, with how they're performing.
Yeah.
Good point. You see, I think the issue. I think with somebody like 2.0, you look at you see like the drones and stuff. We look at them, what they're doing now, and they're like, oh, how is it any different? And there's a clear contrast in where it's different. In NXT, they were never going to be taken seriously. They were always meant to be nothing. In AEW, while they haven't won and aren't obviously the top echelon of tag teams, they're there to fit a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that purpose is to help.
Go ahead, finish, Adam.
No, I was done. I was whoever wanted to be. If you wanted to go first. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I feel like the main difference between AEW and WWE is. It's like a lot of it seems like everybody on the roster has some form of purpose whatsoever.
Meanwhile, WWE doesn't allow them to have a purpose.
I'll give you a perfect example of wasted potential in WWE. The Hurt Business.
Oh man, when they broke up, it was horrible.
The Hurt Business, in my opinion, was probably one of the best things that was happening on Monday Night Raw.
Indeed.
And then Vince McMahon wanted to split them up. And from what I remember hearing, I heard Bobby Lashley and MVP were strongly against it.
Good. It's good to see.
Bobby
Good
Lashley
to
and MVP were strongly against it. They even had a meeting with Vince McMahon to try to convince him not to do it, and they just couldn't get it done. And now look what happened. I mean, Lashley and MVP are still doing good, but look at what's happened to Cedric and Shelton.
They seem like fucking geeks.
They're right back where they were They were right back where they were 2 or 3 years ago, doing nothing.
Well, that just seems to be a general WWE issue. is
Yeah.
you're doing something for like 2 weeks, and then no, you're old school now. Something new happens.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But back to the whole what Adam said about the whole drone thing. You gotta remember, drones are a bunch of fucking idiots and just
Oh,
slaves
trust
to
me.
the E.
There's a lot of
Trust
drone
me, we'll
stuff
save that for later.
there's going to be a lot of stuff later. Like I said, we're gonna have a nice little entertaining beginning to this podcast, talking about Dynamite, talking about Rampage. Once we get into SummerSlam and even the CM Punk stuff, I think things are going to have a much different trajectory going on in this nice little round table we're having this week. But yeah, all
Indeed.
in all, a great way to start Dynamite. The crowd, also shout outs to this crowd in Houston who were electric for this entire
Oh.
show.
Dude,
Hey, by the way,
that place was packed, and they were just. It was just. You could have felt the electricity all throughout the night.
by the way,
And we're going to continue that electricity going into what happens next. Before we get to the match, an extremely nice little moment before the show went on the air. Sammy Guevara is engaged.
Yes, he is. It happened during dark. It happened during dark. He got his girlfriend out from the crowd. He did a nice little segment of how much he cares about her, and then he popped the question. She said yes. It was a beautiful moment in his hometown. It was lovely. It was beautiful.
Oh, that was beautiful. By the way, for some of my opinions on Dynamite, like going forward, maybe at least until CM Punk, my opinions are probably going to be like bland to say. I mean, most of the matches are probably never mind. I'll explain later. Continue.
Well,
Jesus,
we're going to go right into what I arguably thought was match of the night for this episode of Dynamite was Shawn Spears, the chairman, the base god, the Canadian god, Canada's greatest gift to America. He's taken on the Spanish god, Sammy Guevara. And obviously this has been building for quite some time now for these two to finally get their hands on each other. And my God, what a match we got between these two. Non-stop action in this one all throughout. I mean, there were these guys were hitting moves. I was like, all right, that's totally going to be the ending. Sammy Guevara hits a beautiful 630 splash in this one, and that's not the end of this match. There's a beautiful double team stuffed pile driver onto Sammy where Tully Blanchard even gets involved. It's always nice to see Tully Blanchard get involved.
Is it?
Oh, well, go ahead.
Well, yeah. Like I said, this match was a barn burner. That was awesome as fuck. Okay, yeah, that makes me sound like a fucking goofball. But yeah, what Adam says right. It was like pretty good. The spots were pretty amazing. And that's all I got.
I mean,
not much.
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, not much opinion based on me. Sorry about that.
Well, we'll get quick opinions overall when we get to the end here. Just a few more spots to just point out beforehand. If not the spot of the match, both men on the ring apron, all of a sudden, beautifully in sync. Both men pop up to the top rope, stand on the top rope, staring at each other. Shawn Spears flips off Sammy. Sammy decides, all right, you're going to flip me off. I'm just going to do a giant-ass RKO off of the top rope while I'm standing on the top rope. That move was insane.
Holy shit.
Shawn Spears.
And it was.
No, go ahead.
That spot was insane. The fact that both Spears and Guevara had the balance to stay on the top rope for Spears to give him the good old bird, and then for Guevara to bounce off, hit a cutter from the on top rope to the mat. That was insane because normally when you see a top rope cutter, you usually see one opponent sit down, the other's on the middle rope, but not from both on the top rope. That's amazing. Dangerous.
Bird.
The momentum shifts at this point. Sean Spears gets a beautiful C4 off of the top rope. He gets that for a 2 count. We're still going crazy. Again, this isn't the end of the match yet. Like I said, 6:30 senton. Sean Spears still kicks out. At this point, Sean Spears was bleeding. I don't know how that occurred.
I would only assume it was the cutter.
Maybe like bit his lip or something, you know,
Oh no, it was above his. No, it was on his eye.
on the eye. Maybe
That's
you know,
right.
maybe it was like a closed fist, you know, that cut him, you know.
Or the cutter.
True.
But then the way we end this match, Sammy gets Sean Spears with 3 consecutive knees to the face while his knee pad was down, by the way, and then finishes it off with the GTH for the pin. Phenomenal match by both of these men. And it was only the second match here of the night. This whole show is just, once again, you know, the best thing about Dynamites is you know what you're getting. You're going to get something different every match you see. And these two, the story behind it, it lived up to it. Great contest between both of these men. Quick opinions from the gallery on the match.
I said my opinions. This was epic as fuck.
It was.
Sadly, I only saw one highlight of that match, and that was the cutter from the top rope because somebody overlaid it with WCW commentary with DDP doing a move called the Diamond Death Cutter.
Isn't it just a diamond cutter?
Oh yeah, I remember that for the from the top rope as well.
Oh,
Yeah, that match was amazing. Both competitors gave us plenty of snapshot moments in that matchup, and I expect come All Out, they're just gonna go to town on each other in in like maybe like a 30-minute classic, and maybe they'll even let them use weapons and stuff. It's gonna be awesome. The fans in Chicago is gonna love it.
So you think this is not the end?
No, you can't end the rivalry on a Dynamite. This has got to end at the pay-per-view. Best believe.
yeah.
I gotta agree
It's
with
definitely-
Jacob.
It's got to end at the pay-per-view, and it's got to be in a basically in a no rules kind of matchup where they could use chairs and they could just go at each other, you know? Because those two are looking like they're ready to kill each other.
This has been the best I've seen Sean Spears in a long time for AEW since his debut. It's fun. It's about time that they're getting him into a better position. I love this crazy madman chair gimmick that he's pretty much got going on. Him and Guevara have great chemistry together.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, all around, no complaints from me on this one. After this, we're gonna head backstage. We got Tony Schiavone interviewing the new Impact World Champion, Christian. Of course, Christian will be taking on Kenny Omega at All Out for the AEW World Championship. Before this really can even get started, here comes Don Callis to come spoil the fun. Don Callis says, look, I'm still at the top of the wrestling business, and you're still having wrestling matches. Nothing changes. Don Callis talks about how he broke Christian into the business all these years ago, but Christian pretty much says, whatever you say, it doesn't matter. I'm in Kenny Omega's head now. I got the Impact World title, and at All Out, I'm going to take the world title. You think you're the smartest guy in the room, but Don, you've always been a carny piece of shit. Pretty much a smaller version of the promo that we got last week. Was it last week? Yeah, last week, building into the first Rampage. So just little drops here and there. There will be more regarding this match and everything. We'll talk about it as the show goes on. Nice little promo here. Nothing, groundbreaking, but keeps the story going.
It was just simple story fodder. It was done correctly and perfectly. Don Callis being made look like an idiot once again. Thanks to Christian Cage. And it just keeps adding more momentum towards All Out in that AEW World Title match.
After this, we get a nice little highlight video showcasing Dante Martin after his incredible breakout performance on Dynamite last week in that 6-man tag. They have high hopes for this kid. Give him a few years because he's only 20 years old. He is going to be a top star in AEW, hopefully alongside with his brother as well when Darius comes back from injury.
Yeah. Speaking of Dante, he was actually on Action with on Elevation earlier today, and he took on Anthony Bowens. So he had one half of the Acclaim taking on one half of Top Flight. The two teams that I always used to get mixed up.
They're
very
different.
Oh yeah, they're very different, but for some strange reason, I used to get Top Flight and the Acclaimed mixed up with each other.
Ooh.
But yeah, Dante Martin has been like starting to quickly become one of my favorites in AEW.
Definitely, you could see he's becoming
yeah.
the diamond in the.
I seriously hope though they don't do any stupid angle when his brother comes back.
Here's hoping, man.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
If anything, hopefully Top Flight will be
Stay
together, and who knows? Maybe they'll be the ones to dethrone the Young Bucks.
Oh well, we'll get
Speaking
to
of the
all
Young
of
Bucks,
that.
Yeah, we're
But,
gonna get
before
to
we
that.
Before we get to that match, we have Dan Lambert's back in the building. Everybody,
Oh,
Dan
God.
Lambert, American
This
Top
ass,
Team.
Dan Lambert, a.k.a. the biggest asshole walking God's green earth.
Oh, see, I think Dan Lambert is very good at what he's doing.
Being the biggest
Just
asshole
built-
on God's green earth? Yes.
He knows what he's doing. He plays it so well. He is pretty much Jim Cornette, but without Jim Cornette being there, and
He's
obviously
MMA's
not
Jim
completely.
Cornette, pretty much.
Yes,
Yeah, basically.
but he's playing a character.
Yeah.
So he's out here tonight. He's got Junior Dos Santos and Andre Arlovsky. Those are the two former UFC World Champions. Two guys who I know for a fact Junior Dos Santos is not a wrestling fan, so he clearly did not want to be there. You could tell. Honestly, this was all of this was just Dan Lambert doing his traditional, usual stuff. He's talking, down on the millennials of AEW and talking about how AEW is cancel culture. Just pretty much typical stuff you'd see all over the Twitters and all of that on people who are bashing AEW, except here he is in human form, but clearly Dan Lambert's going to get his just desserts somewhere down the line. And we thought it was going to happen because Lance Archer comes out. He's not happy yet again. Is he going to black out Dan Lambert? No, he doesn't get a chance because the Men of the Year attack Lance Archer. And,
wait,
this...
Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky.
Yes,
yeah.
Lance Archer is on his way to the ring. He doesn't get there yet. Men of the Year take advantage. Excalibur states that Dan Lambert found himself some allies. It looks like the next feud we're going into, is Archer against the Men of the Year. I don't know how I feel about this. Granted, you got to give everything time, see what happens. But you talk about three guys who I've always felt in AEW are top commodities, but are sort of a little bit lost in the shuffle with everything else that's going on. I don't know if them feuding is the best idea, and I'm very interested to see where this leads. But also, I guess we're getting a handicap situation. Is Archer going to find a partner? What's Dan Lambert's longevity with this going to be? And honestly, why are the Men of the Year upset?
Is Harry Smith still with WWE? Or was that like a one-time thing?
There's been no follow-up on that. People are saying he's signed. Some people say he's not signed. That was a one-night appearance. That was a tryout.
I was about to say, if he's not signed with the E, Is there a distinct possibility we could see the reuniting of the Killer Elite Squad?
Yeah,
That would be awesome.
I would say don't go with the E because let's face it, the E is garbage as it is.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
hold on, Eris. To be fair, though, he's got family there.
Oh, he does.
True.
Yeah, Natalia's still there, and his BFF Tyson Kidd's producer. As far as, at least I think he's still a producer.
No, yeah, Tyson is still on
Okay,
the.
so Tyson's still there.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so quick thoughts. We won't spend a lot of time since there's not a lot to discuss yet. But Archer and the Men of the Year, into it, not into it.
I'm in that.
Maybe. I'll just say maybe.
I'm in that. I agree with Eris. I'm in that gray area. I don't think I might like it. I might not like it. I'm just going to see how it unfurls. You know.
I
let's
personally think the Men of the Year with Dan Lambert sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, when I think of Dan Lambert, I think of somebody. I think of his time in Impact with Bobby Lashley.
That makes sense.
Thought,
he should I thought one of his MMA buddies would have been the one to try and take down Archer. Not the Men.
See, I was thinking, because he had mentioned former UFC champion. I thought, well, who's not doing a lot right now? Maybe Ken Shamrock comes in for a quick little thing, puts Archer over. Some people were thinking Tom Lawler, because of the New Japan connection now with AEW and the Forbidden Doors open and all that. Instead, we got Men of the Year, and I just feel like this is I don't know. It almost feels lose-lose to me because neither players should be suffering another loss. Archer, people thought, hey, cool, he's got the U.S. title. Something's going to happen there. Loses it to Tanahashi. The Men of the Year, the only real feud that they've had was against Sting and Darby, and they really lost that one. Now, it hasn't hurt them stock-wise, but I feel like these are guys that really need some victories behind them. And I don't know if feuding them together is the right idea to go. But besides that, we're going to move on to the next contest of the night. And it's the AEW Tag Team Championships. This was my sentimental favorite match of the night. Even though very upset because Dino Daddy did not win that. But okay, because this match was awesome. Of course, it was the Young Bucks taking on the the Jurassic Express.
There you go.
The team of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. They're fighting for the tag belts. This match is all over the place, but in a lot of really good ways. Jungle Boy looked fantastic. Luchasaurus got to do a lot in this match. It's nice to see that. He's, I guess, fully healed at this point, and he's moving a little faster than he used to beforehand. There's a lot to just mention within this one. I mean, there's some awesome near falls. There's a double choke slam by Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy hits a beautiful brain buster off of Luchasaurus's back onto Nick Jackson, which is very scary to see. But so far, they haven't screwed it up yet.
There was an awesome arm drag Jungle Boy did when he bounced off the ropes, Lucha style. That was pretty impressive in of itself. Yes. There was also a lot of elite moments. Of course, they didn't come alone. They had the Good Brothers with them.
They also had Cutler with them.
Yes, he was there as well.
Cutler was there with them as well.
Jungle Boy tries to jump off of Luchasaurus's back for God knows what, and just eats a double super kick. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Marco Stunt tries to get involved here. He's got a steel chair. That doesn't help out much, really, at all. Marco gets walloped. Kenny then takes the chair and tosses it to Mac Jackson. Here comes Christian to save the day. So there goes Omega. They're all fighting in the back. They're trying to replicate what happened on Rampage. with the steel chair situation with Christian. But this also backfires on them yet again because Jungle Boy hits a beautiful brainbuster to Matt Jackson straight on the chair. The chair folds. It looked awesome. It was so sick. But Nick Jackson breaks up that count yet again. And this leads us right into the end. Jungle Boy is pretty much on an island of his own. Luchasaurus has been taken on the outside. BTE trigger to Jungle Boy. And that takes us home. Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks are still tag team champions. Fantastic tag title match here tonight. And this is going to lead into what got announced later on in the night. Because of the shenanigans here, Tony Schiavone later on, we'll just skip ahead, get it out of the way, makes it very clear that at All Out, the Young Bucks will be defending the tag titles inside of a steel cage against one of 4 teams that are currently involved in a mini tournament, Private Party, Varsity Blondes, the Lucha Brothers, and the Jurassic Express.
And speaking of that tournament, already one of those teams has advanced.
We'll talk about that when we get to Rampage.
Yes.
We will talk about that when we get to Rampage. But so quick opinions on the match and this little mini tournament and the steel cage match coming up at All Out.
All of it is going to be fucking awesome. That match was insane. Let me tell you. I mean, granted, I kind of was hoping for Jurassic Express to win, but that match was still fucking awesome as always.
I don't think the tag titles are going to change hands on Dynamite. I think they're going to change hands at a pay-per-view.
Makes more sense.
Quick opinions on the mini tournament idea coming, and who do you have taking it?
Oof. The mini tournament play.
Lucha Brothers.
I'm torn between either Jurassic Express or the Lucha Bros.
Okay, I'm going to go a little bit left here and say maybe either Jurassic Express or Jurassic Express. Because telling from that match alone, its story is definitely not over between them. More or less.
That's also a distinct possibility. But yeah, I'm still going with the Lucha Brothers. I think them and the Young Bucks inside a steel cage would be epic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about, I got a feeling we'll see like, I don't know, that thing Elix Skipper did in Impact.
Oh yeah, walking up, yeah, from Turning Point. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember when he walked on top of the steel cage and Hurricane Ron
did a Hurricane Ron.
Yeah, I like that. That was one of the most scariest spots I think I've ever seen because if he had lost his balance, he would have died.
You
and Impact wouldn't be around, and I would be sad, but it still is. And speaking of Impact, since we're still in the tail end here, Christian is then brought back out, the current Impact World Champion. He's brought back out by Kenny Omega. It's traditional elite bullshit going on. They beat down Christian. They beat down the Jurassic Express some more. One Winged Angel onto Christian. And then Don Callis makes a mock 3 count to, I guess, preview what's going to be happening at All Out. The crowd's not into this at all, but I have now become a little bit more invested into this Christian Omega feud. Because at first, I think like a lot of people, when it found out, Hangman wasn't going to be the one making it, and, for good reasons, he's got a kid on the way. People were like, oh, right, well, it's going to be Christian. And at first, there was some skeptical, is this going to work? How is this going to play out? And I think with what happened on Rampage last week, tonight, and the little inner reactions here and there, I'm kind of a little bit more invested in this Christian and Omega match coming at All Out.
Definitely, they're taking a bad timing from Hangman when he's about to become a dad, and made it into a golden one with Christian. It proves the point that the ranking systems do matter in AEW, because it was, and the way that they're doing with the storyline with Omega and Christian, beautiful. This is what happens when you take what you got and working with it. beautiful. I can't wait for the pay-per-view. I can't wait to see if Christian can go 2 for 2 and take another championship off the belt collector.
Anybody else have any quick final thoughts here before we move on?
Yeah, I got nothing. Go
I
ahead.
honestly think that Omega's actually might get another belt.
Be surprised if he
Which
did,
one?
considering the damage he's been taking.
If Omega gets another third belt, I think it might be the IWGP title.
I mean, he was thinking about that.
Has he ever won the IWGP World
Yes, he
Title?
has.
Yes.
I was gonna say
He won it off Okada, and then I think he
The
lost.
Dominion.
Yeah, and then he lost it to Tanahashi, I think.
He lost it at Tana at Wrestle Kingdom.
Thank you,
Yeah, that's
Zahaya.
right.
Yeah.
See, he's still here.
Zahaya Morgan, our resident expert on New Japan Call Wrestling.
Oh,
Pro Wrestling, not Call Wrestling. Holy shit.
Oh, I thought
Anyway,
there was meant to be the joke there. But after that, we're going to get backstage yet again. It's Tony Schiavone, and he's interviewing our current reigning women's champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
EMD.
And she's back there with Rebel and Jamie Hayter, who's now back. This was mainly for Jamie Hayter to talk and get herself a little bit more, noticed by the crowd, see what's up. She's going to be taking on Red Velvet this week on Dynamite. She said that her and Britt Baker go way back, and when she said her friend needed help, she came in to help, and of course the answer was yes. She's going to be fighting Red Velvet. Really not a lot to take away from this promo. It was really quick. It was just to get Jamie Hayter some mic time and to obviously announce the match coming up. Jamie Hayter is a very, very hot prospect from, the UK scene and the Joshi scene as well. There's a lot of people who are really excited for her to show up. If you haven't seen Jamie Hayter fight yet, first off, this is a whole different Jamie Hayter. Physically, look-wise, everything, honestly, from when she was in Stardom, teaming with B. Priestley. So it's going to be interesting to see what new Jamie Hayter we're getting out of this. I'm excited for what's going to happen. I don't really have much else to say. It was very short and sweet. Looking forward to the match. Any opinions?
I have to agree with you, Adam. Jamie Hayter really. It was just a short promo, just to help her give her some mic time, and it really showed the character we are starting to see out of her. Because we all know, because like you said, she was completely different when she teamed with Priestley over in Stardom, in Stardom when they were the current when Priestley was the current Stardom World Champion, and Hayter had a Joshi title. I can't remember, but this is going to be an interesting one, honestly.
Here's my question. Whatever happened to Red Velvet's team with Big Swole and Kylan King?
It's actually a good question. What happened to Big Swole?
Big Swole's
been competing on Dark Elevation. She's feuding with Diamante at the moment. Well, what the hell happened to Kylan King? Did she just not get signed?
Well, no. So here's sort of an answer to your question. Kylan King, I don't think she got the All Elite signing, but she is officially signed with the Nightmare Factory, which essentially means you're signed with AEW. Her and Red Velvet, though, this weekend will be teaming up, there you go, V, to be a part of the NWA's Empower show, as they're going to be involved in the tournament to crown NWA Tag Team Women's Champions.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, also, by the way, I wouldn't be surprised in the future if Red Velvet's fiance got signed somewhere.
Makes sense.
Does anybody know who Red Velvet is engaged to?
No.
Shit, I forgot.
Wes Briscoe.
Oh shit! Really?
No, we're good.
She's engaged to Wes Briscoe.
Yeah, well, Wes Briscoe's got no talent. So.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
I would like to see the Briscoes in
he must be doing
AEW.
something. He must be doing something right if he's engaged to Red Velvet.
Hey, listen, you could have good, schmoozing skills outside of the ring, but I don't need to see him lace up his boots again.
Lace up
Do
anything
I
in the bed.
have to talk about aces and eights? No, I don't.
Or lace up anything in the
No,
bed.
that Ring of the Hawk guy did a good job with the aces and eights.
Hey, listen, I gotta bounce soon. But can I get some stuff out? Can I get some stuff out before I leave?
Go ahead, Harris.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just gonna sum it up. CM Punk coming to AEW Rampage, fucking awesome. Him versus Darby Allin, it's probably gonna be hella sweet. SummerSlam sucks, obviously. And thanks for having me on, guys. See you later.
All right, see you, Harris.
Thank you for joining us. We're gonna move on to God, this segment sucked. I don't get it. I don't understand why this is a thing that we're getting. But it's Tony Schiavone. He's in the ring. Here comes Paul White. I don't want to go into detail because this segment was fucking trash because I don't care and I don't understand who cares. Long story short, QT Marshall and Paul White are fighting at All Out because I guess
I have to agree. It was one. I never thought I would see today, but it was one of those bad moments, bad segments for AEW. It had to happen sooner or later. Have a bad egg, and this was one of them because nobody wanted to see see what happened to Paul and his hip. And honestly, QT, he's trying to be this quote unquote bully douchebag who thinks he's better who thinks he's in the know, and it's just, but it's just one of those things. Like, well, nobody bats 1,000.
See, I like QT. I haven't liked anything he's been involved with, and this sure is just another.
Not even the factory.
I like the factory. I like his whole Tony Soprano type thing that he's got going on, but it just feels like anything.
It's fine.
And I think this is a situation with also, like we've mentioned with Cody as well. It seems like anything Nightmare Factory, Nightmare Family related always feels like it's on a different wrestling show. And that's exactly what this felt like. You're talking like an amazing first hour. Some really good promos, some fantastic matches. And then here's, honestly, a WWE segment on AEW.
Ugh.
Let's show his giant ass scar. Let's make fun of the old guy and everything. It did not feel like it needed to be on Dynamite. This could have easily been announced on Elevation. Also, does this really have to be an all-out match? I get it. It's the whole, it's Paul White's first match in AEW, but
I feel like this should be on the buy-in. I feel like this should be on the buy-in.
Yeah, it screams buy-in. And, there's no way this match is anything more than choke slam or knockout punch, 1, 2, 3, and we go home. There's, we're not going to get a match out of this. This just doesn't feel right to me.
Still, we're not 100% sure.
But are you telling me you're excited to see QT Marshall and Paul White?
Not really, but...
There you go. So, the match could be 10 minutes, but it'll be what's the point of this being 10 minutes? I mean, it just doesn't feel AEW-esque to me. And again, not every company is going to bat 1,000 on everything that they do.
Yeah.
Oh, as a reporter in KC said, nobody bats 1,000. For every Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin, you get 10 Mantars. It's
yeah.
And we kind of figured it was going to happen sooner or later with AEW. And when we saw that, I was like, well, there's their first miss. And I was like, but it's not to take the taste out of AEW, because we kind of figured we were going to see some missteps there. It's just that I just hope they can find a way to smooth it out.
Not every feud's going to be like Not every feud is going to be, grade A.
This was at least choice, or
This was-
select cut.
This was passable at best. Like
Yeah.
it was there. Paul White got a really nice reaction. He's going to, obviously. QT had a really good facial expression once he was announced that he was fighting Paul White. That was really fun. But I don't know, this could have been easily saved for an Elevation or something. And honestly, I would have saved it for Elevation. Get some eyes on Elevation a little bit more. An all-out match is announced on Elevation. We should watch Elevation. Just didn't feel like it needed to be on Dynamite.
All right.
No, this should have happened on the Elevation site. Help give the AEW YouTube page some more eyes on them. So that more fans can watch Dark and Elevation. It was just a bad call, and I feel like, hopefully they can learn from this.
Okay.
After this, we get the announcement of the tag tournament. We went over that. After that, we're back in the ring, and it's Taz and Hook, the better son. Fuck Goldberg's son. We stand Hook. Taz for some reason has to announce that. Hi, I'm Taz. Hi, Taz. I didn't think, I guess Houston doesn't know who Taz is, but they're out here to introduce Ricky Starks, who this is supposed to be the face-to-face between Ricky Starks and Brian Cage. Ricky comes out there, says Ricky Starks is still in the mix, and I want to let everyone know that Ricky Starks is for the world. Brian Cage, you said we seem to keep missing each other, so please come on out here. Let's go face to face. Before any of that can happen, we go to the screen, and it's Powerhouse Hobbs is in the back, and he's beating up Brian Cage, but it looks like Brian Cage is getting the upper hand, and they're going back and at it, and then Ricky's immediately like, no, let's get that off the screen. No, we don't need any of that junk. They run to the back, and that was the end of this segment. Really short and sweet. Obviously, we're continuing to build. I got to assume all-out match with some form of a stipulation.
With the FTW title on the line.
Yeah, the FTW, it's going to be a match between Starks and Cage for the FTW title, and possibly maybe a stipulation or two,
But again, short and sweet. It did what it needed to do. I'm liking this whole team testing. Ricky Starks is money. He's another huge player for this company, and so is Brian Cage. A lot of people are hoping for the idea of maybe Brian Cage was going to Lucha Underground, the FTW title, and rip it apart and destroy it, which I could see happening. I can see that happening. But yeah,
it would make sense.
But that was the end of that segment. It was really short. I'm assuming maybe this week on Dynamite, or maybe next week, we're going forward. We're going to probably get some of an announcement for that match, and probably we're going to get Powerhouse and Brian Cage on Dynamite or Rampage, which that match just sounds really fucking good.
Their first ever Hoss fight, and that's in AEW. That's going to be beautiful.
After that, though, we have our women's match of the evening. It's Super Bad Penelope Ford, whose gear was lost at the airport, which is why she had to literally wrestle tonight in her street clothes. I thought she did the best she could with the limitations she has. I like Penelope Ford. She's not the greatest wrestler, but she's fine for what she does, and she does a really good Moodalock. She's taken on Thunder Rosa, who comes out to a huge ovation here in Texas. She considers it her home away from home is Texas. The crowd is just fire for her. This match is again, it's short. There's not a lot that happens. I mean, Penelope does get quite a bit of offense. She gets Thunder Rosa in 2 Moodalocks. I don't know if she has a name for it. I don't think she does, but it's essentially the Moodalock. So she looked pretty good in this. I mean, we're continuing the whole rankings matter. I believe Thunder Rosa right now is the number 1 ranked. Penelope at the moment was number 4 ranked. So this is just continuing that momentum and the trajectory. Penelope Ford, like I said, gets the Moodalock in. Thunder Rosa is able to counter it, captures Penelope's leg, and then she applies the submission, forcing Penelope to tap out. Again, not a lot to talk about in this one, but fine for what it was.
Yeah. It was a good matchup. Seeing Thunder Rosa and Penelope Ford wrestle, like you said, Penelope Ford doing what limitations she had due to the fact that she lost her wrestling gear at the airport. But been able to put up a good matchup with Thunder Rosa. It was really good, and we might be able to see Thunder Rosa somewhere down the line go for the women's title, go after Britt Baker, and maybe we'll see Thunder Rosa at Empower as well. You know, you never know. She's a former women's champion.
V, any opinions
on Thunder Rosa
or the match if you saw it?
Unfortunately, I did not see the match.
Oh well, you know what? We'll just keep this train going. We have a lot to talk about tonight. So after this, we're backstage. We got Tony Schiavone. He's with Arn Anderson and Brock Anderson, who made his return at WWE this past week at SummerSlam. That was really cool to see Brock Anderson. You know, first guy to go on both AEW Dynamite and to be at WrestleMania at SummerSlam. And he's going to be probably fighting Roman Reigns. Brock Anderson. He returned at SummerSlam, right?
Yo, you're thinking Brock Lesnar.
No, I'm thinking Brock Anderson. But I don't think he's gonna make it to fight Roman Reigns because it's announced that for some fucking reason Brock Anderson has accepted a challenge to fight Malachi Black.
What? Is he out of his mind? God, I get this. I get what you're trying to do. If you want to make it to the top of the business, you go after the biggest dog in the yard, but not Malachi freaking Black.
Also, I apologize. I apologize for being momentarily distracted, Adam. I recently discovered that the first images of the upcoming Cowboy Bebop live action series from Netflix have been revealed. And I gotta say, John Chu as Spike Spiegel looks very good.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
Look, this is just to continuing the, Malachi is pretty much trying to go through all of the people that are close to Cody. Brock Anderson wants to avenge his dad because Arn Anderson got kicked in the head with the black mass or whatever he's calling it. We don't know what he's calling it yet.
I called it the Devil's Scythe, but that was just me.
That's not a bad name. I don't know.
Also, today marks the 20th anniversary of the first Devil May Cry game.
Thank you, V. Arn Anderson tells Brock, Brock, I appreciate you trying to get the vengeance for what he did to me and Cody, but with all his experience, Malachi will hurt you. Brock tells Dad, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you this time. He's taking this match. So, good gutsy move here by the younger in Brock Anderson. He's gonna get murdered.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way around that. He is going to be killed.
If he gets out of that without an injury or anything serious, it's a miracle. No.
But V, any quick opinions? Brock Anderson's gonna be fighting Malachi Black.
Oh, that poor kid is gonna get massacred. That poor kid is gonna get massacred by Malachi Black.
But I am trying to find this card. Here we go. So we're going to announce a few things before we get to our main event for what's happening on Dynamite this week. V, I assume you've seen Elevation today or whatever. Was anything announced for Dynamite on that show? That wasn't already announced.
No.
All right. Well, for once, they don't do that to me.
The only thing that interests me The only two things that interest me on Elevation was Dante's Martin match with Anthony Bowens, and the main event match, which was a 6-man tag that saw the Death Triangle against Evil Uno, Colt Cabana, and Alan Angels of the Dark Order, because the Dark Order lost, then afterwards there seems to be some infighting.
Ooh, well, that seems to have been the story ever since Hangman dipped. But this week on Dynamite, Dynamite, the aforementioned funeral of Brock Anderson will take place because he's going to be murdered by Malachi Black. The Varsity Blondes will take on the Lucha Brothers in the second semifinal of the little mini eliminator tournament. Red Velvet will be taking on Jamie Hayter, as previously announced. And Orange Cassidy will take on Matt Hardy in a match that was announced earlier on in the night in a little video package. Very excited to see Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy. But that is what you'll be seeing on Dynamite this week. I assume something else is going to happen. And something might have got announced, and I just don't get to see it because it always happens every damn time. But let's move right in to our main event of the evening, and it is the fifth labor of Jericho. As Chris Jericho takes on MJF, and right off the gate, I hope everyone here has seen it at this point, but the fantastic acapella entrance that this crowd gave Jericho, who had no theme music at all, and I gotta give the crowd where the credit is due. They were in sync pretty damn well, and it was kind of a really cool sight to see. I've never seen, I don't think in all of wrestling there has ever been a full-on acapella crowd version of a person's entrance, and it just felt as awesome as the regular entrance itself.
It was so good that, believe it or not, there was an actual fan actually wrote down the lyrics on multiple signs to help out with keep it up at the pace. Like, you actually saw a shot of a fan holding up multiple signs. One of them actually had one with the lyrics in written on it, and it was awesome. You know,
it was funny though to see at points when they were cutting to the crowd, people clearly on their phones trying to read the lyrics, which was again charming at its best. Jericho seemed to really love it. The commentators did not talk over this. They let this moment sink in, and good on the Houston crowd for not fucking this up like a lot of people thought they were going to by being all over the place. They were pretty much in sync for the entire time. V, did you get to see the entrance?
I saw bits and pieces of it.
Thoughts?
Don't really have any.
Awesome.
It was good.
So let's get right into the match. Of course, Jericho cannot hit the Judas effect or else he will lose in this match. And this is a very well done match back and forth between these two guys. They have very good chemistry with each other. One of the highlights right off the bat, they hit to the outside of the floor. MJF grabs the TV camera. Very old school Jericho and Rock type shit here. MJF.
When he did that spot, I had flashbacks to Backlash '99 when The Rock took a camera, and it was just him being him, and he gave Austin a finger, and it was just panning to the fans, and the next thing you know, you saw Austin give him two and then stun him while holding to the camera itself on top of the table. It was kind of like that, but except they were on the floor, and Jericho just punched the camera.
Yeah, MJF is panning, looking at the crowd, turns the camera right in front, and who's there? Jericho with a flipping the bird right to him, and decks him, and MJF, God bless his soul, takes a flat back bump on the outside while still holding the camera, never dropping it once. Jericho then picks the camera up with a really well done shot of him standing over him, does the whole, yeah, baby, look at the crowd. That was just a really fun, throwbacky spot in my mind for this one. The match itself is really well done. Like I said, these two guys work really well against each other. MJF is persistently working on Jericho's braced arm, even to the point where he rips the cast off, really trying to sink in the salt of the earth armbar to try and pick up the victory here. MJF gets Jericho rocks MJF with 10 forearm clotheslines in the corner. That looked great. Then, of course, picks him up on the turnbuckle and hits this Frankensteiner that he's been doing lately. For a man his age to be doing that perfectly, might I ask, and not necking himself, just gives you credit to why Jericho may or may not really be the best in the world.
I don't know why he's not in the Hall of Fame yet, because his contributions are that of legendary.
We get a beautiful heat seeker by MJF onto Jericho. That's not enough to put him down. MJF applies the Lion Tamer onto Jericho, which was really cool to see. Wasn't expecting that to get pulled out, especially not from MJF. Jericho's able to get out of that as well. But then, after that is done, Jericho crawls over to the corner, and it looks like he's getting something. And what does he grab? He gets Floyd. He's got Floyd in the back. But while he's doing that, MJF is slipping on his Dynamite Dozen ring.
Dynamite Diamond.
Dynamite Diamond ring, sorry. Referee Aubrey notices that she gets the ring away from MJF. As she's got her back turned, Jericho clobbers MJF with Floyd. MJF is woozy and daisy. Jericho's setting something up. Oh no, he's about to hit the Judas effect, and he realizes I can't do that. Very reminded me of Shawn Michaels and Randy Orton. Was right about to hit the Judas effect. Couldn't take it in enough time. Instead, MJF hits his own Judas effect onto Jericho, applies the Salt of the Earth armbar, and Chris Jericho taps. To end the night, MJF stands tall. Jericho could not beat the 5 labors of Jericho. MJF, still the slimy bastard that he is, and Jericho tapped out on Dynamite. So a really, really hot way. And almost cliffhangery. What happens next for Chris Jericho and MJF?
MJF is the ultimate heat seeker in professional wrestling these days. It's a lost art form, and he's taking it in stride. Okay, the fact that he decided to hit Jericho with the Judas effect, the very move that he banned Jericho from doing, just to knock him out so that he could be able to apply the Salt of the Earth to get submission and win. That's saying something, you know.
Did you catch any of this? Or
I saw the ending. I saw the ending.
So what do you think about the takeaway here? Jericho was not able to beat MJF. This match also did not happen at All Out. Is there a possibility of a rematch?
There might be a chance. There might be a chance of a rematch at All Out. Jericho might put his career on the line.
If so, we've seen now these labors, the War Games match, obviously. What is the end point if these two do have another match? What kind of match are we getting? How do we end this?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure.
Jacob, do you have any ideas maybe on how you think this should all end?
That's a good question. How should this rivalry between MJF and Jericho end?
Because clearly this is not the end. And if it is the end, I feel like that's going to be a little bit of a cop-out having it on a Dynamite. I do think they have to go to All Out in just one huge big blow-off.
Mm-hmm.
What that match is?
It's got to happen.
I don't know.
That's the $1 million question. What would Jericho put his career on the line at all to finally just say, I finally beaten MJF? Will it be worth it? Or it's one of those things you just got to think of, you know?
I think downtown Jason Brown has returned. So before we get into what we're here to talk about tonight. Do you have any quick opinions on Jericho and MJF's match and where this could be leading?
Well, obviously, I think, like you said, the feud is not completely over yet. Though I do think after this feud is over with, their main thing is they're going to switch up to MJF and Sammy.
Yes.
That's definitely going to be the next feud for MJF. It could be possibly, where Jericho, was so desperate to try to finally beat MJF, he's going to put his career on the line, which I think that's what it's been leading up to. And hell, when they originally, before the whole 5 labors of Jericho shit was announced, I originally thought that was what MJF was gonna do before he did the 5 labors. Was gonna say, "Oh, you can only fight me as long as you put your career on the line." But then we got the whole 5 labors thing, because I think that's what it's leading to. And not only that, I think it's mainly leading to MJF being the one to retire Jericho.
You see that happening at All Out?
Yes.
Do you have an idea on what kind of match we could get? Because it's got to have to be something.
It's going to be a submission match.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, it makes sense. Both men have submission finishers. Jericho has tapped out to the salt to the earth. So, if anything, what it could end up happening is it could end by a referee stoppage, where Jericho will refuse to tap out, but due to the referee worrying about MJF completely breaking Jericho's arm off his shoulders and everything, the referee will call for the match, and therefore, on a technicality, ending Jericho's career. And because after this, because I think this is what Jericho's been wanting to do anyways before he calls it a career, because as you can tell, he's always been high on MJF, backstage and everything like that. And what better person to end Jericho's career than MJF? So, if anything, it will end with Jericho passing out to the salt of the earth, and therefore Therefore, ending his career on a technicality.
Oh, that is Dynamite for that week. It's time, though. It's time. We've waited here long enough. You've waited a while. You've waited long enough, everybody. Have waited long enough, because it's time to talk about the real important thing that happened this past week. It's time for Rampage, and we got to talk about Jade Cargill squashing Kiera Hogan. What a fantastic, impressive show of strength by Jade Cargill. She's fantastic. No, that's not what you want to hear us talk about. You want to hear us talk about Mr. Phillip Brooks, CM Punk. And that's exactly where we're going to kick it off, because they didn't wait either. Dynamite, well, they did wait. They kept all of us in goddamn agony for it. Rampage kicks off. It's Rampage. It's the first dance, and we are in Chicago. 15,000 fans are here to witness the return, 7+ years of CM Punk. They are teasing us from the get-go. The crowd are already chanting CM Punk before the pyro even goes off. We have to cut over to Excalibur and the announce team. They're running down the card. They're telling us, oh, there's a big moment. It's on its way. Silence comes across the United Center. And then, and the crowd I couldn't hear the music.
That's how loud that moment was.
Yeah.
When they heard the initial riff of Cult of Personality, I thought for sure that the United Center's roof was going to bust off from the pressure. Okay, they were going ape shit.
I cried. I legitimately cried so much.
You
all
in your
did.
car.
When CM Punk came out, first he was like, "Okay, let's do this," and then he feels the energy from the crowd.
Well,
He does a 180 turn, and he is just stunned by the fact that the fans are just losing their shit. He gets down on both knees and he's just soaking it in, and it was beautiful. Okay,
the music hits and the crowd are already deafening. But once he stepped through the tunnel, I was like, how do people make even louder noise than what they're already making? This crowd did that somehow, because they got even louder once they finally saw him, and you could tell he was overwhelmed. Immediately you see it on his face. There were definitely tears about to start rolling. But he got himself together. He gets up. He says, "Let's fucking go." This crowd loses it. He does a dive into the crowd.
Actually, I can tell you, when he got past the ramp, he takes a left turn, goes to some friends in the front row, and just hugs them. And if I was in that crowd and I was doing that, I would tell them, "Welcome back. It's glad to have you back. We miss you so much." And then he goes to the other side. He says, "I'm going to come to you. I'm going to jump." And they were all ready for him. He jumps, does a mosh pit.
I felt so bad. The funniest part about this is I felt so bad because there was that one security guy who was clearly like, "Oh my God, don't hurt him. God, get him back up and get him out of here." He's trying, but like this crowd wasn't going to let that happen. Punk was just loving it. It was insane. It was just ecstatic. He gets back out. He gets on the top rope. The crowd are just, there's nothing. I can't think. Maybe I think the last time I can think of something on this level was like when The Rock made his return back for 27. That's the last time I truly remember a crowd just being all together for one huge moment. And then obviously you go back to the Austin return to help Mankind win the title. That's one of the biggest pops of all time. Even Britt Baker's last week in Pittsburgh, a huge pop. And, Punk even mentions that in his promo, which credits to Punk. He put over a lot of people in this promo without having to really say anybody's names. We're going to get to the promo in a second. You got to wait 90 seconds because we had to fucking wait 90 seconds. The bastards. So we're going to sit here for 90 seconds. Okay, we're not going to do that because the high would kill me. So instead, we're going to get right to it. CM Punk, he's back. It's a reality, everyone. It's legitimate reality. He gets in the ring, he gets on the mic, and it's like he's never lost a step. He makes it very clear that tonight, first off, like I said, he comes out and he says, "You really know how to make a kid feel like Britt Baker in Pittsburgh." I thought that was a great little shout.
His first line back in wrestling was putting over another talent. It's so good.
We'll get to you. This is my show tonight.
Okay, yeah. And then he just starts talking and he says tonight we're winging it. He says we're winging it tonight. He didn't have anything prepared because he didn't know what he was going to say once he got out there, because he didn't know how it was going to feel once he got out there. But, he gets right into it, and he says, everybody's been waiting. And at first, he tells us he's sorry. He wants to apologize to all the fans and to everyone that have felt like he let them down for his personal decisions and choices. But then he has the great line of, "Let me just say, I was never going to be healthy by staying in the same place that got me sick in the first place." What a line. Nice rib towards WWE in the fact that the Fed was the company that basically killed his love for professional wrestling.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the fact that they nearly killed his love for professional wrestling.
They nearly killed him.
Yeah, the medical malpractice that was done on the CM Punk, on the Phil Brooks, it is criminal.
And
The
then,
fact that, yeah,
oh, go stars. No, well, go ahead.
but all of that right there, it, it it's unexcusable, with all that shit that they did to Phil. So it wasn't just the fact that this company, that WWE killed his passion, his love for the one thing that he always wanted to do, ever since he was a child. It was the fact that they nearly killed him.
And on top of also the whole firing on his wedding day stuff, like this company literally, like they ate him and they spat him back out, and he was this nothing. And it's like, well, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna do my own shit. He acted. He wrote comics. He tried UFC. He got to do a bunch of shit in those 7+ years. But he makes it very clear, and we'll get to the story he addresses, to where he makes it clear that he is now back in professional wrestling. Another great shout that he makes clear right off the bat is that he's got time, and not just time for one show. Nah, he's here to stay. He's here for the Wednesdays. He's here for the Fridays. He's here for the Saturdays or Sundays, the 4 times a year. He doesn't say he's here for Mondays. So, sucks to be you, Elevation. But whatever. But he is officially back. He's in wrestling. He's here to stay. He takes off, and then he says, "Do you have time for a story?" Takes off his jacket. Brand new classic CM Punk ringer tee, which sold out in 72 hours. It broke the fucking website for like 8 hours. He comes out, the shirt gets revealed, the shirt went up on Pro Wrestling Tees, and you could not get onto that website till like 4 in the morning. I tried. It was impossible.
And WWE said he couldn't draw anymore.
What was it? He never moved the needle? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he moved a lot of needles.
Yeah, just to show you what they know now.
But he says it's time to tell the story. Gets down in the CM Punk Indian style, and pretty much says, I felt before like I had to leave, and I didn't want to, but I had to. And you thought at first that he was addressing WWE, but no, he mentions that this was in 2005 when he left ROH. Because in ROH, it was wrestling to him. That was what he loved, and he knew that he was about to leave wrestling and go somewhere else. He was about to go to a place where people could work and learn their craft and love professional wrestling, and he was about to leave all that behind and go join sports entertainment. He doesn't say that, but that's pretty much what he's addressing here.
He said in that promo, he said August 16th, or was it 11th? I can't remember correctly. Was the day he left professional wrestling, and we all felt that because that was, and man, it was something else.
Yeah, he makes it clear that he knew he was going to a place that wasn't going to be easy for a guy like him, because he is just like us. He's a professional wrestling fan, and he knew where he was going. It wasn't going to be exactly like what he had beforehand. But then he says the infamous line that now everybody is going off of. So August 13, 2005, I left professional wrestling, but August 20th, 2021, I'm back. The crowd lose their fucking mind.
Yep.
And he says that he's back for you. He's not gonna lie, he's back for himself. But he's also back because he knows there's a hell of a lot of young talent that he wishes he was surrounded by 10 years ago. Which, that sucks. Poor little, what happened to Kofi? I thought you and Kofi were buddies. But whatever, But I understood what he was trying to say. He's back in a place that is wrestling again. It's professional wrestling. It's what he used to love. And if Punk was ever going to return, for all of these years, people have talked about Punk returning, and obviously when AEW first started, he was one of the big names that Tony Khan made clear he wanted to get, but it looked like even then Punk was still not ready for it. AEW's been around for what now, 3 years almost, and now he's been able to see, and he's been able to get an idea of what this company is, and what he sees is what everybody else sees. Wrestling is back in a big stage and a big platform, and what better person to come on back to bring it on home? CM Punk.
And you know what? And for those who don't know about this, it was during like after the show went off the air, they did kind of like a conference call or something like that.
Yes,
and,
they did. They did a media call.
And during that media call, they asked him what was the moment that he knew that the AEW would be the place where he would return. And he said how they treated the whole, the death of Brody Lee.
Yeah.
How they kept it a secret for so long, kept, let the family have their moment and everything like that. And he felt that, and that's, and he said at that moment he knew if he was coming back to AEW.
Good.
He mentions that he's not just back to work with the young talent, but he's also back because there's a few scores to settle still in the back of that locker room. Ooh, who could that be? I don't know. Jericho, maybe? I don't know.
Colt Cabana?
See, okay, well, the Colt Cabana thing, I feel like is a whole different can of worms. I guess no one really knows how that's going to turn out, because that's...
From what I hear, people have told me that they buried the hatchet.
I hope so. I hope they've buried it to an extent where they can both be in the same company and working together, and there's not a lot of animosity there. Punk made it clear, in recenter interviews, after all of that Punk wasn't him. That wasn't the same guy. That was still the broken, sad CM Punk with nowhere to hide. He had nowhere to hide anymore. He was lost, and he admits that he's made some poor decisions because of what happened, and he blames a lot of that on the W for pretty much putting him in that dark place, and causing all the issues that happened because of it. He seems, first off, he looks in great shape. He looks very healthy, which is also very good. Because when he was doing UFC stuff, he looked a little sickly to me.
Yeah, I gotta admit, he looked a little sickly to me as well.
But he looks fantastic. He looks like old CM Punk. He's back, and immediately. So that's the end of the CM Punk is back situation. But that promo is not over just yet. No. Because he immediately turns his attention to Darby Allin. And Darby Allin and Sting are all the way at the tip top in the rafters. They're looking down.
Darby's fighting back a smile.
Yeah, you could tell he's fighting back a smile. Sting is Sting. Just the idea that Punk and Sting are going to do something together is just crazy to me.
Yeah.
But he says, I see you, you're good. I've seen you jump out of airplanes. I've seen you get kicked down flights of stairs, and you always come back. Because just like these people here in Chicago, you're tough. But I'm here to help, Darby. You're the first on the list. You're a daredevil. But there's nothing more dangerous for you to do than getting into a wrestling match with CM Punk in Chicago. Makes it confirmed on September 5th at All Out. I will see you on pay-per-view. He's back. It's Darby Allin and CM Punk are going to go at it in what probably is going to be the main event of the evening.
Which I think, which is probably not a good reason why they're holding off on the whole, Adam Page beating Kenny Omega thing. Because the night that, Adam Page beats Kenny Omega for the belt, that needs to be his moment.
Yeah.
But with CM Punk return there, that will overshadow it. So, if anything, I'm perfectly fine with them waiting off until Full Gear.
Okay.
CM Punk also, during that media scrum, made it clear that if he was a teenager, Darby Allin would be his favorite wrestler ever. So he's very happy that he's working with Darby. He wanted Darby to be the first person on his list when he got here. That just puts Darby over crazy. And then,
Because there is a lot of similarities. Because for people who don't know, Darby Allin, he's also straight edge.
yes,
Wasn't he also a backyarder?
Backyarder, yeah.
yeah, no.
I
So
remember
he,
correctly, Punk was also a backyarder.
So there's just tons of similarities between
Oh yeah.
Punk and
Darby.
Yeah, I think the only similarity that they don't have is well, CM Punk never appeared on Jackass.
Yeah, fair. And of course, Punk, before he leaves, doesn't end it just yet because he makes it very clear that he made a promise and that he was going to deliver on it. So before everybody leaves here tonight, pick yourself up an ice cream bar. Night one, and he's already got the ice cream bars.
And you know what? And
he paid for all of them.
Yeah, the ice cream company. Here's the thing. He had this saved in advance 2 years ago.
Yep. I heard
Right
about
around when AEW first started up. He had that all planned out. He had that all planned out for 2 years. 2 years he had that planned.
And AEW said, sure. Tony Khan said, you fucking got it. Night one, and in all honesty, there were boxes upon. There's video, you can look it up, of people waiting in line while they're leaving to grab these CM Punk bars. Now, granted, they're not the CM Punk they're not the WWE bars, but they had really exclusive CM Punk packaging, and they did not skimp on the ingredients. They got the top quality ice cream bars, but they got the Madagascar vanilla, and they had chocolate. Not chocolatey. Chocolatey is what you see on most ice cream bars. That's the fake shit. No, this was chocolate shell. So, a little bit of your ice cream bar trivia there from me. So, CM Punk not holding back on the expenses to make this a memorable moment for everybody that was there in attendance. And honestly, we could have ended the show there, and it would have been amazing. Punk went out there for pretty much 20 minutes of this 1 hour show, and the entire time it was about him. And honestly, that was the best decision to do, is he needed to be the starter, because you wouldn't have gotten something like this if, say, he had 10 minutes left of Rampage, and clearly they did not go for an overrun. He needed to open the show. It needed to be him kicking it off.
Great.
But yeah, I don't know if he is here or if he's still driving, but Zahaya, if you want to make anything relating to Punk quick, that would be the time.
Thank you.
Nothing right now. I just wanted to tell you that you're doing a great job, sweetie.
I'm asking you about Punk.
I know. I'm currently not in a position to talk about it right now, Adam.
I hear a woman there, Zahaya. What are you doing? What are you doing, Zahaya?
But yeah, no. I lost what I was going to say now. Jason V, final opinion. CM Punk's back. Darby Allin at All Out.
I wrote it on my Facebook page for the first time in a very, very long time. I can honestly say I'm proud to be a wrestling fan.
And I've said this before.
Because the day Punk left the E, to me, was one of the saddest days in wrestling history.
Honestly, no, it shouldn't be considered one of the saddest days in history, because that right there was Phil Brooks getting back his freedom. Was the beginning of Phil Brooks getting back his freedom. Because here's the thing. I said this before. I nearly stopped watching wrestling. I've nearly stopped watching wrestling. And AEW was what kept me going. There was something that was missing. There was something that was missing. But that night, when he came back, brought back hope for professional wrestling, brought back my love for professional wrestling, because on that night, Bill Brooks regained the love for the one thing that the WWE stole from him. And that was his love for professional wrestling.
Oh, I did forget. Well, I guess I'll mention it here. He will be on Dynamite this week. I didn't mention that in the match rundown, mainly because I wanted to just save it. But yeah, he will be making his first appearance on Dynamite this Wednesday. Who knows what he's going to do? I don't think he's going to wrestle until All Out. I think that's the smart thing to do here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely
but
think
he
that's
has made
a
it-
smart thing.
But he has made it very clear this is not a part-time schedule. He is a full-time wrestler again here. So we're going to be seeing him a lot more than what people initially were even expecting him to do, which was only going to be a few appearances here and there. No, dude's here. We don't know the extent of his contract. I'd have to assume it's 2 years, probably, maybe 3 years. But I'm going to go with 2 at least. And we'll see what happens.
They're known for the 3-year contract. So I'm thinking 3.
But he could have asked for something different. We don't know.
True.
And the crazy part is, even before we even get to the first match of the show, he is not the last person. You know, you have Daniel Bryan or Brian Danielson.
Brian Danielson.
He's pretty much on his way. Buddy Matthews, the former Buddy Murphy, pretty much confirmed he's going to AEW. We don't know what's going to happen with Bray, but if he goes anywhere, it's going to be AEW. And as of this recording, newly minted free agent on the market, Adam Cole, could appear on Wednesday because he don't got that complete cause because his contract went up. I mean, That would just be nuts if he pulled a Scott Hall and is like, boom, Adam Cole's on Dynamite.
He'd be like, hey, yo.
Well, first they'd have to bring him back from the dead. Then he'd say, hey, yo.
Hey, yo, I was never dead.
That should be what it had. I mean, if I was them, that's what I would do. I'd have him just kind of just be. He'd be like Kenny in South Park. He just shows back up. It's like, oh, hey, Cole. Hey, where have you been? I've always been here the whole time. I've just been in the back there. Or it'd be like, oh, I was one of the Dark Order guys. It'd be fun. They could do something crazy with it, obviously. So the AEW in the next few months is about to look really, really weird. You know, with all those names coming in, it looks like the New Japan deal is pretty much solidified. Tanahashi's making it clear that he wants to work at least one match a month in the US. He's totally going to be coming to AEW at one point, some way or another. You know, they're working with the NWA and Impact, and maybe ROH finally decides to join the fun. And we're just looking at a phenomenal 2022 year. I wonder, though, also, Punk's back in AEW. Do you think, since the love is kind of back, do you see Punk showing up anywhere else? Not like to sign, but like an appearance or so. Do you think he goes to ROH for a one-shot like appearance to be like, I'm back in ROH? Could he show up at a GCW event for all we know? Could he come and do something for Impact? Do you see Punk sticking only to AEW, or do you think he might let the Punk breathe for other companies as well?
Well, he has made it clear that he, if Tony Khan wants him to wrestle in New Japan, or because he says he does have that spunk to do that, we could see him in New Japan,
which is crazy to think about. Imagine him and like Naito. I think that's the match to go with, or him and Ospreay. Got some really good shit there. V, any opinions? Do you think Punk is strictly AEW, or do you think he's gonna dip his toe into other territories?
I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him go to New Japan. He said he'd love to be in the G1.
But that's
Here's
enough CM Punk talk for now. Because the good thing is, just like he said, that's enough CM Punk talk for now. But we get to talk about him again because he's back. Punk's back. What the fuck? And I'll say it here. I'm not like this diehard CM Punk fan, but I am even like, yes. I feel like everyone was like that. There's people who aren't diehard Punk fans, maybe because of his actions outside of the ring, or maybe they just thought he was overhyped. But all wrestling fans, when Punk came back, felt something. And I think what they felt was that seismic change that is coming. I mean, they beat SmackDown in the demo. And by the way, that's a 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock thing where SmackDown goes 8 to 10. So it's a lot earlier on the Friday. And Rampage still beat them in the demo. I think they got like a 1.1 million in the ratings itself. Warner released an actual statement regarding it, which is like something that NBC and USA never do for the WWE because they don't give a fuck. TNT, even on their Twitter the same night for that rest of the day until the next day, I think for a little bit, changed their handle to TNT Punk. So if that doesn't say something,
it shows the confidence. It shows that they are behind this.
And I feel like that's, while, yes, having Tony Khan and the money is all great, but having the station that you're running off of, loving everything that you're doing, and having that amazing connection, it's going to help them in the long run. When the contracts come up in next year and they re-sign, they're going to get re-signed for a much bigger sum of money. They're going to be making even more money than they were. They're giving them the roads to the top's got their own like reality show, and you got Rampage and you got Dynamite, and apparently there's like 3 other shows that are in the talks as well with Warner Media. Streaming has become an option, possibly down the line, maybe for HBO Max. That would just be another good connection. Warner is all in, pun intended, on AEW. And that is something that you don't see from the other side, especially lately when USA is pretty much being like, the fuck are you guys doing to us? Well, we'll get into more WWE talk when we get to the news segment, because there is quite a bit to talk about, especially coming out of SummerSlam and Takeover and the Nick Khan interview talking about NXT. But we will get into that, but we have to continue. We got our first match of the night. It's the first match of the tag team contenders tournament thing. It's the Private Party taking on the Jurassic Express. I thought this match was a fine little tag team match. It was the best match on the show by far. But, I mean, the other 2 matches were almost glorified. One of them definitely was a squash match. But this one's a nice little back and forth. There's some entertaining stuff. There's a fucking Canadian destroyer in this match that Isaiah Cassidy hits onto Jungle Boy off of Luchasaurus' back, which fucking looked insane. The ability there is absolutely outstanding. A Private Party are really good. This Matt Hardy thing, some people like it, some people don't. I'm indifferent. I think it's fun, but I don't know what the game, what the end game here is. But these 2 teams had crazy athleticism. At one point, Isaiah Cassidy gets tossed in the air by Luchasaurus. He hits one of those primal yells that he's really funny for doing. This match is all over the place. There's a shooting star press to the outside by Mark Quinn while perfectly perched on the top rope, Sabu style, and then hits the shooting star. That looked fantastic. This match is really all over the place. I mean, they didn't have a lot of time, so they needed to get what they needed in within the amount allotted to them. Private Party is looking for the silly string. That gets countered by Jurassic Express. Marco and Matt Hardy get into it for a few. That gets taken care of. Jungle Boy went after Matt Hardy. Private Party grab a handful of Jungle Boy's tights to roll him up. It looks like they're going to get pinned, but no, Jungle Boy's able to kick out. Then they get they hit that. It's like a wheelbarrow. No. The Jurassic Express hit that. It's like a wheelbarrow, like diamond cutter, and they
Sure.
pick up the victory there. Jurassic Express are going to move on to this week's Rampage, where they'll take on the winner of the Varsity Blondes and the Lucha Brothers, which will happen on Dynamite. Any opinions on this match?
I thought it was very good. I honestly thought Private Party would go to win, considering Jurassic Express just had a shot at the tag titles, but I'm glad Jurassic Express won. Again, I think it's going to be Jurassic Express and the Lucha Brothers on Rampage this week. We'll have to wait till Wednesday to find out.
Jason, any opinions on the match?
It was a fun little match. They got what they could in, you know, considering that, the show is mostly based around Punk. So they got their shit in. It was fun, and yeah.
After that, we keep the train moving. Jade Cargill taking on Kiera Hogan. I honestly thought this match was going to be a little bit more competitive. I was wrong. Kiera goes for a roundhouse kick. Jade answers her with a thrust kick. Picks her up, hits the Jaded. 1, 2, 3. Jade is now 10-0 in AEW.
Oh!
Kiera Hogan is totally going to get signed. I think that's a guarantee here with AEW, especially, with Diamante being on the roster.
Yeah, I was about to say, speaking of Kiera Hogan and Diamante, something else happened on Elevation I completely forgot.
Oh, there we go.
So there's going to be a tag team match because there was a promo with Big Swole and Julia Hart, who have beef with Diamante. So they challenged Diamante to find a partner to face the two of them in a tag match.
Oh, well, it's probably going to be Kiera then.
No.
Oh, it's not.
It's going to be Big Swole and Julia Hart taking on Diamante and Nyla Rose.
So that's what we're doing with Nyla. Okay.
Yeah, Nyla's teaming with Diamante to face...
Is that for Dynamite?
I don't know if it's for Dynamite. I don't know if it's for Dark. All I know is that Julia Hart and Big Swole want to get their hands on Diamante because Diamante had a singles match with Julia Hart, which she cheated to win, and then afterwards she started beating the crap out of Julia with a chain.
But I think Kiera obviously is AEW bound. She's gonna fit in well here. They gave her a lot of promo work, little video packages building up to this match, so they clearly have something invested in her. But this was just another Jade Cargill match. Jade hits like 3 moves, gets the big victory. I like Jade Cargill. I am still very like, what the hell are we doing with this girl? Like, she's not impressing a lot because she hasn't done a lot. And like the stuff that she is doing,
she's already got the look. She's already got like.
Oh, you're back.
The face. Yes, I am back. By the way, she's already got the look. She's got the face. She's got the charisma. Right?
I get that, but like, she's got to start doing something. We need to get this girl in a feud. We need to give her more than just these Mark Sterling promos where they're like buying wine or whatever the fuck it is that they do. Like, and I honestly thought, okay, cool, we're gonna get Kiera and Jade. Maybe this goes like 5 minutes, and Jade gets to do a little bit more than just a pump kick and the Jaded. Jason V.
This was a glorified squash match, which I honestly am surprised that Kiera Hogan's been doing, considering not too long ago she was one half of the Impact Knockouts Tag Champs. I mean, you think...
I mean, it is what it is right now. They really couldn't do way too much because of the time.
I mean, that is true. The time was another thing, obviously. But I still feel like Jade needs something of a direction because she doesn't. While she doesn't feel directionless, it feels like dead end. Like where do we go now?
Also, the guy that's badging her looks like a big giant ass dork.
Well, I think that's part of the whole like appeal here. He's the like Harvey Whippleman almost type manager.
He pretty much is Harvey Whippleman.
Yeah, and I like Mark Sterling. I think he's really good at what he does, and him and Matt Cardona are doing fantastic work on the indies together. But anytime Jade Cargill gets announced for something, I'm like, all right, it's gonna be like less than a minute. She's gonna hit like 3 moves, and then that's it. And then that's the case, and then nothing comes of it. It's like she needs. I understand that they want to keep her as like this like special talent, almost like China-esque, but she's got to start doing something more than this.
Oh, absolutely.
And I just think, the more that you do this, it's the more like people are just gonna like not care anymore because it's like, all right, we've seen it, we get it. What's next?
I mean, in wrestling, I think when especially it comes to like people who they want to consider like their powerhouses or their monsters or anything like that, they give them these squash matches for a while. It's basically booking 101 apparently for a lot of those big monster or just powerhouses, where they will eventually slowly start putting her in longer matches. So I'm thinking they're gonna because they have to get over this phase of a squash match phase, and they have to start putting her in more lengthier matches, even if it's just like a 5-minute match or something like that. Let her show off more. Let's see her selling ability or no selling ability.
Yeah, no, I need to see a little bit more in where they want Jade. Because clearly she's gonna be a women's champion down the line, but like I need she's gotta be doing something with somebody. I would have you're saying Swole is feuding with Diamante. Why not Jade and Swole? I feel like that would be a good feud for Jade to start out with.
And also though, to be fair, she's only been wrestling for about a year. So I'm pretty sure they don't. It's kind of like they don't want to expose her greenness just yet.
Look, I'm perfectly fine going through how much Jade needs to improve and all, but this match was 2 minutes and we still got another show to review, so we go. Next
all
match.
Right. Yeah, all right. Well, we got it's our main event of the evening. It's Jon Moxley taking on Red Death Daniel Garcia. Not as much of a squash as the other one. This one gets
did you just call him Red
minutes.
Dead Daniel Garcia?
No, it's Red Death.
Oh, Red Death. Why is he called that?
I'm pretty sure it's in reference to something of olden times. I think that's why he calls himself that. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure that's why he has the nickname.
Okay.
So this one's kind of almost a fight in senses. This was not, again, nothing to cry home about here. There's a pretty good match. It's Jon Moxley, and they beat the shit out of each other, which was awesome.
I also liked the finish because near the end of the match, during the beginning, Moxley was obviously taking complete control of him, and it wasn't until Garcia got him on the ground and started picking him apart is where he started getting the control. So I liked the finish of where he had him in the sharpshooter that he had Seidel in back on Dark Elevation, and he made him tap out, and he pulled back on it. However, he pulled back a little too much, Moxley saw an opening, grabbed him by the neck, put him in the Bulldog show, cranked that sumbitch. So far, Daniel Garcia had to tap out. I thought that was good because it's, even though like Garcia, he's got this, he's very good. He's still young. He's got a way to go. He's got to learn, and he made a mistake, and Moxley capitalized on it. So I was a very big fan of this finish.
This is 2 matches in a row now where they're, again, he's not been signed, but between this match and the Darby Allin match, they're clearly giving Garcia a lot in these matches to showcase what he is and what he can do. He's a huge prospect. There's no doubt about that. If he ends up getting signed, I think he's going to be another big, deal for them in years to come. He's also very young. People have talked about him and Daniel Bryan like maybe being in a stable together type deal. I think that just sounds awesome. Even if they fight each other, that sounds great.
You mean kind of like what they were doing with Bryan and Drew Gulak?
Yeah, and Daniel Garcia has a lot of Drew Gulak in him if you think about it.
Yeah,
just minus like the over the top comedy aspects of it.
It's more of pretty WWE Drew Gulak.
And that's where, obviously, 2.0 come in, being like his hype man.
I'm shocked that Gulak's still employed.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I enjoyed the match for what it was. It was a nice little 6-minute. They beat the shit out of each other. Garcia looks great in defeat still. Another great testament to AEW. No matter win or lose, you always come out looking strong. After the match, Garcia and 2.0 begin the attack on Moxley and Kingston. But then here comes Darby and Sting to make the big save. Sting hits some stinger splashes. Darby hits a coffin drop onto 2.0. Big happy celebration. All the faces are over. I swear I thought Punk was going to come in and hit a GTS. That did not happen.
You can save that for another time. This is obviously just have Punk go out, have his moment, have all the baby faces go over. Nothing big needed to happen because of what happened in the beginning. That's all this show needed to be. It's all it was ever should have been to begin with. This was just extra stuff to send the crowd home happy.
I mean, the whole show should have just been Punk for an hour, and nobody would have batted an eye.
No,
but you got a really good tag match in there. This main event was pretty fun. Jade Cargill gets to showcase herself, whatever. The only thing announced for next week's Rampage as of right now is the finals of the Tag Team Eliminator Tournament. Jurassic Express taking on the Varsity Blondes or Lucha Brothers, depending on the outcome, on Wednesday. And that's Rampage for you this week. Again, it's probably going to be the most noteworthy show of the year, regardless of what happens anywhere else, regardless of what happened in fucking Las Vegas when we talk about it. This is going to be remembered as one of the top shows of all time for wrestling, and it's all because of that first 20 minutes because of CM Punk.
Yep. But that's going to about do it for the AEW portion of it. Now it is time for the news segment, where normally I just go through a bunch of news articles and whatnot, but considering there's like a bunch of shows that happened, we're just going to go through a few of them, see what happened.
A bunch of shows.
Yeah.
There was like 8 shows on Friday.
So if anything, you should do this like a lightning.
Right, that's what I was going to do. Like, I'm just going to go through the results. First up, we've got GCW Off the Rails. This came like right after the whole first dance after Rampage.
Yeah, so 11 o'clock. They were in Vegas.
I didn't get to see all of it. I did see a good chunk of it. I was very tired. Obviously, the Punk thing wore me out, but from what I gathered, it was a pretty good show from the people who watched it.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. A lot of wrestling this week. Wasn't able to watch everything. The one thing I did watch, though, was how the show opened. Matt Cardona, God bless this guy, comes out to the ring to defend the belt for the first time, dressed as Vince McMahon when he was ECW champion. This guy gets it.
He gets that, and not only, but the match proceeding after it, after he did his promo with Sam Stackhouse, he really did like some of his best work here, and the match didn't even go that long. So he's pretty much berating the GCW crowd. He issues out an open challenge to pretty much anyone who's not a GCW wrestler, and so he picks out Sam. They don't say his last name; they just call him Sam. His name's Sam Stackhouse, by the way. So he gives him a title match. Zach's pretty much beating him down in the beginning. He actually hits him with a lot of his big maneuvers, but Sam kicks out. He's not going down to Zach Cardona. Sam eventually makes a comeback. He hits him with a spinning wheel kick and a dive at one point. Like, this dude's going in on Cardona. He gets like some close near falls as well, but that all comes crashing ahead. Matt obviously hits radio silence, retains the belt. You know how it goes. After that, though, Jimmy Lloyd beat Dark Sheik. What I heard was pretty good. Dante Leon beat Nick Wayne. Effie beat Ricky Morton after an issue that has been like months in the making.
Wait, Ricky Morton, Rock and Roll Express?
Yes. Yep. Still wrestling.
God bless him.
Jordan Oliver beat Starboard Charlie in a very good.
I heard that match was really good.
It was. I watched it. It was really
and
good.
I heard AJ Gray and Allie was also really good.
I heard they beat the shit out of each other.
That's kind of been her thing lately. Is like she's just one of the boys now.
AJ beat Alley Catch. Chris Bay beat Too Cold Scorpio, and 44-0. Atticus Kruger, Eric Ryan, and Ricky Shane Page beat the MDK gang of Mance Warner, Matthew Justice, and Nick Gage.
Yeah, that's all building towards the War Games match in Chicago in like 2 weeks.
You guys can continue on. I'll be right back.
Okay.
That's GCW. Also, the same night, I guess you're going to talk about it. Impact had Emergence, I think 3 hours before Rampage happened.
Yeah. It was going on during SmackDown too, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, fuck SmackDown, so.
I agree with that, but like.
I think the only notable thing coming out of Emergence, Christian Cage is still champion. I heard some of the matches were good. I heard Josh Alexander and Jake something had a really good match.
Yeah, I've heard that Myers actually put in like one of his best performances against Christian on the show. So glad to hear that they were able to at least get out a great match.
And also Ace Austin is the next person in line to fight for the belt at Victory Road. He'll be taking on Christian Cage.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Well, I'm very much a big fan of Austin. I think he's great. But also on a list of shows that happened, we had Ring of Honor with Glory by Honor. They had 2 shows.
So there's only like one thing that matters about this show, and it's Ultramantis Black showed up.
Ultramantis Black made his return. Yeah.
He was with Incoherence, and they were all together, and I cried. And it's the only thing I saw. I didn't watch anything else. That's the only thing I watched.
Well, apparently, Bandito retained the Ring of Honor World Championship against
Flip Gordon.
Yeah, Flip Gordon. And in the main event of night 2, Vincent defeated Matt Taven to end that fucking 2-year-long rivalry. So,
did you watch that at all?
Absolutely not.
Oh, all right. Well,
it was
great.
Matt Taven.
But it was in a cage. It's the first ROH cage match.
But it was
in a while.
You're missing the part where it's Matt Taven.
Right. No, I understand you. Like I said, the only thing that mattered was that Ultramantis Black is back. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Frightmare and Hollow Wicked and Delirious, and they're all together again. The gang's all here. Besides that, I don't know anything else that fucking happened at that show.
Why do you sound so sad?
Because, like, it has to be an ROH. You know? That
And
sucks.
with that, I think we only have one more show.
There is one quick bit of news I wanted to quick mention for Impact's sakes. New signee for Impact Wrestling. One of the hot free agents coming out of the NWA, Zicky Dice, has signed a multi-year contract with Impact.
I am not very familiar.
Oh, Zicky Dice is
the name.
really good.
I've heard the name.
You guys, do yourself a favor after this. Go watch some Zicky Dice stuff. You're going to fall in love.
Well, I will do that later. But right now, we're going to get on to NXT Takeover number 36.
I watched the majority of this.
Takeover, end of an era. End of an undisputed era, if
So quick thoughts real quick here. Opening match was great. I didn't give a fuck about the women's match. I didn't give a fuck about the Undisputed Era match. I didn't give a fuck about the main event. Let's talk about Walter and Dragunov because that's all that matters.
All right, hold on, mother. This is why I take the keys back here. All right,
keys back, but only one of these matches matters.
All right. So first match, Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight.
I liked it.
I very much like this match. Very simple story. Cameron Grimes is a very good babyface, and I think him and DiBiase make a great duo.
They're going straight to the mood.
He's arguably the most over babyface.
I don't think it's I don't think it's close.
Besides Joe, I guess.
Yeah. If we're talking like NXT US roster, because we'll talk about who the best babyface on the show was, but in terms of just NXT US TV, yeah, Cameron by a fucking landslide.
Yeah, no, this was really fun. I enjoyed this. I like this little feud. I thought, hey, these two guys work really good together. Great payoff. Good way to start the show. No complaints on that match. Next match, didn't pay attention to because I didn't give a fuck.
Next match, Raquel Gonzalez beat Dakota Kai to retain the NXT Women's Championship.
Who was the face and who was the heel in this feud?
Isn't that the problem?
That was the problem because none of them were very much acting like both were acting like heels going into this. But I think Raquel was supposed to be the babyface, but nobody gives a shit about Raquel.
I think Raquel is fine.
Uh-huh.
But hey, fuck, if we're going back to like old school, like 2012 NXT, then yeah, I guess she fits right in, but she is not doing it for me. She's not doing it for most people that I see. She clearly doesn't do it for the crowd. This was Dakota's fucking moment.
It was, and they just didn't pull the trigger, which is one of the main problems with NXT, is that they have this obviously ready act, especially after who came out after the match. Spoiler alerts, Kaylee Ray is gone from NXT UK, now part of the main NXT roster. And they didn't do it, and they just no, we're going to go with Raquel, and I don't understand it. They clearly have someone who the crowd wants in Dakota Kai, and especially if you built up Dakota Kai against Kaylee Ray, I guarantee you that would have twice as much hype as it would for Raquel versus Kaylee Ray, I guess.
The issue here is that this could have been fine. She could have still lost if the roles were reversed.
Right.
Dakota should be the face. Raquel should be the heel. Then it makes sense. Instead, you had Raquel being like the underdog when she's the giant in this match.
It's Diesel.
Really, it's backwards booking.
It's Diesel Michael syndrome.
Yeah, no, it's literally that all over again. Mm-hmm. And now the sad part for Dakota is, Kaylee Ray is here now. Where the fuck does that leave Dakota now?
Who fucking
Does Dakota get called up, I guess?
She was on main event. She jobbed to Aaliyah.
Awesome. What?
Yeah.
Wait, who jobbed to Aaliyah?
Dakota.
Oh God.
Aaliyah, I can't get out of NXT for like 10 years. I lose every match.
Yeah,
Aaliyah.
she beat her with literally the worst jumping DDT I've ever seen in my life and pinned her.
Yeah, NXT is dead. Anyway.
After that,
yeah, all right, yeah, let's talk about it.
WWE NXT United Kingdom Championship match. Ilya Dragunov beats Walter.
Holy shit.
Possibly, it's literally, I think,
It's
might be
match
one
of the
greatest matches I've ever seen.
V, did you watch this?
No, but I wish I had.
Oh my god, do yourself a favor.
Just violence.
What else can you say?
Violence incarnate. Like, that's exactly what this is.
Not just that, but like we mentioned about Cameron Grimes. Talk about making a man in Ilya Dragunov.
Fucking,
what a babyface.
He stuck in there with Walter. Like, at no point did you think, like, he was, like, a lesser man coming out of this. He stuck in there.
Fucking neck.
Dude, the ending spot where fucking he's got Walter grounded and he just starts, like, forearming him in the back of the head.
He Torpedo Moscow's him to the back of the head at one point. He suplexes this fucking dude, and this is Walter by mind you.
Walter mid-cross body and, like, belly to bellies him to the canvas. Like,
they're trading chops back and forth. Walter hits some of the sickest looking big boots I've ever seen.
Did you see the chop to the back of his neck?
Oh my god, Jesus. The chops in general, the chops, the forearms, I mean, there's, like I said, Ilya Dragunov's, like, collarbone is bright purple by the end of this match.
It's ridiculous. You literally have to go out of your way. Watch this match. It's unreal. Like,
the question that everybody has been asking, though, where does this rank compared to the first one?
I'd say I liked it a lot better than the first one, but that's only because I think because of the crowd. The crowd was what honestly helped it a lot.
Yeah.
You want to talk about, like I said, about a situation in which the crowd, when the match started, was all on Walter.
Yeah.
And by the time the match ended, Ilya was the more over guy. Not only that, but like he submits Walter.
He made him tap out.
Then puts his fucking foot on him and says, "I'm the king now.
I conquered the fucking beast. The king is dead. Long live the fucking king." Dude, this was so great.
But this is where shit like this gets sad. Because no one's gonna fucking watch UK.
No.
And that's like the real sad part, is like you get a match like this, you get a man made in Ilya, and now he's gonna go back off to the UK, and nothing's gonna come of it, sadly.
Nope.
I have heard that I think next month or the end of this month, but I think it's next month, that the UK crowds will be returning for NXT UK, which I think is a huge thing for them.
Yeah.
And maybe they get the crowds back. People are really hot on the Ilya Dragunov thing. Maybe NXT UK finally gets a little bit of notoriety. Fuck, if NXT goes back to being old school NXT, and as we clearly see, they don't touch NXT UK at all, maybe NXT UK becomes the new NXT for everybody. And honestly, I wouldn't be against that, because from the stuff that I see from NXT UK, there's a lot of really good stuff there.
Yeah.
You were gonna say something, V?
No, I was agreeing with Adam.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, fucking phenomenal match. Obviously, WWE match of the year, without a doubt.
No, there's no other match that WWE can put on this year that, unless it's just them fighting again, that can top this. It's not possible.
Absolutely not.
Question
though,
it's
gonna feel weird. Though it's gonna feel weird to see Walter without that belt. For a little while.
Well, that was going to be my quick question before we move on. And it's quick thought. What do now?
I think
out of there. Get the fuck out of there.
He's probably.
Are you saying get out of WWE in general,
yes,
or
right now?
Oh, really?
You've done everything that you needed to. All right, you've done everything you can for that NXT roster. All right, fucking just go somewhere else.
You wouldn't put him on NXT?
No, not with everything we know what's going on with NXT now.
Oh, let's see. Well, hold on, but look at that. Everything that's going on in NXT right now would indicate that somebody like Walter would fit the new NXT.
I don't know, man. I don't know. With Vince now in charge of that shit, I don't trust it.
I don't know. Him and Joe sounds pretty sick to me. But
I don't trust Vince with fat men.
but after this match, I watched a movie.
You O'Reilly and Cole?
I don't care.
Oh my god.
I've never cared because I've seen this already in ROH.
I get it.
And then I heard that the ending of the whole thing was awful.
I didn't think it was all. So, all right.
What was the ending?
All right, so let me go through it real quick. So, first of all, it went pretty quick. It was just them wrestling. They have pretty good chemistry, so this went pretty fast. I think the first of all only went like 5-6 minutes. Cole tried to go for the Panama Sunrise. O'Reilly gets him with the roll-up, counts to 3. After that, it's a street fight. This is where the majority of the match takes place. They start beating each other with kendo sticks and chairs and steel trash can lids. Cole hits him with the last shot. He gets the second fall. Go to a steel cage. O'Reilly's still trying to, get back into it. So Cole's like picking apart O'Reilly for a majority of this match. He gets a pair of handcuffs out. He handcuffs O'Reilly to the ropes. He then proceeds to super kick O'Reilly a bunch of times, tries to go for a third one. O'Reilly catches him, puts him in a heel hook. Cole's got nowhere to go, and Cole taps out. O'Reilly is the winner. After the match, though, the crowd's obviously not happy. They were chanting bullshit.
So what the fuck?
Wait, so what were they chanting bullshit for?
I don't think they liked the fact that Adam's gone. And look, I get it. Like Cole leaving in general. Like I get, like he's been like the. I think that Cole has been the best NXT superstar like ever. Like literally anything you would want from a top guy, he's been for that brand. So I get it, but win or lose, like this was always going to be his last match. This was always going to be his last appearance in NXT. So I don't get what being mad about it is going to accomplish.
Well, I heard that people weren't happy with the finish.
I don't know what they could have like. I thought the finish was fine. He got too cocky. He caught the kick and he locked it in. He had nowhere to go, so he tapped out. If people are mad about the finish, I don't know what to tell you. But after that, we get the main event: Samoa Joe versus Karrion Kross.
Didn't see this either.
Joe comes out, big time star. Everybody loves him. Karrion Kross doesn't even get to the fucking stage yet. Already chanting, "Where is Scarlett? Where is Scarlett?"
Oh, I did see after the show the crowd doing the na na na, hey hey goodbye and Hardy chants at Karrion Kross.
Hardy.
And now he has a stupid mask on Raw.
He's done. He's done. He is done.
He's done until they bring Scarlett back because every guy needs a woman.
Wow, where did Scarlett go?
The whole plan that apparently is being talked about through Pritchard and Vince is to have Kross lose on the main roster to the point that Scarlett needs to show up and be like, you need me to win matches. So, essentially, Karrion Kross is about to get Mark Marrow.
Yeah.
But he just won his match on Raw against Ricochet.
Yeah, well, we'll see where that goes. He beat Ricochet, V.
Yeah.
He was in pants a few months ago.
And he just lost to Keith Lee like a few weeks ago, too. So it's not like his booking has been consistent.
And he lost everything that made him him.
I thought he beat Keith Lee.
He beat Keith Lee, and then Keith Lee beat him.
Ah, okay.
So, a pretty all-right match. Joe looked really good in this. I thought Cross looked good as well, but everybody pretty much knew where this was going.
How did Joe beat him?
He beat him with the
Muscle Buster.
Yeah, the Muscle Buster.
Oh, they let him use the Muscle Buster?
Yeah, they let him use the Muscle Buster. I was so happy. Hit it. 1, 2, 3. Joe, 3-time NXT champion, the first
ever
in that brand's history.
Well, good.
Do you think Do you think this is gonna last long?
I don't know.
Probably. I think he's not going to last long as champion. They could just be using him to build out to whoever the next top guy is. Who that is, I'm not entirely sure. But
well, we know that the breakout tournament is ending this week. Carmelo Hayes and Odyssey Jones, who I think Odyssey Jones is really cool. I think he has a lot of upside.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying that both of them are necessarily going to be the guys that maybe take the belt off of him, but like, there's obvious people that it could happen. Again, we have to find out what is going to be happening with NXT.
I like Odyssey Jones, but for a different reason.
Why is that?
Oh, because he's from his home state,
Yeah,
town.
He's from my hometown.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But he has a lot of charisma.
He does.
But that was NXT. I thought it was for a 3-hour show. Went by really quickly. I liked the matches. Some of the results I didn't really care for, but everything I saw was good to fucking phenomenal, and that's all I could ask for.
Go watch Ilya and Walter, and then just never watch NXT again.
Yeah.
Or go watch NXT UK.
But now it is time for us to discuss the big one.
SummerSlam.
Yep.
So I was intoxicated for this because I needed to.
Fuck you!
I needed to be intoxicated.
So should we start with the pre-show?
There was a pre-show?
Yes. Let's start.
Well, I didn't see
Let's
it.
start with the pre-show because I know it was Big E versus Baron Corbin.
So
nope, I'm good.
So I saw the pre-show, by the way.
Oh, for once.
So they're still doing the thing. Corbin's a bum. He needs money, so he takes the Money in the Bank briefcase. However, they pointed this out on commentary. It doesn't even fucking matter if he has the goddamn briefcase. He can't cash it in. So what the fuck is he carrying it for?
Was this match for the briefcase?
No!
Oh.
He doesn't own the briefcase. He just stole it.
I think this. I think homeless Baron
Big E
Corbin
beat him and got the briefcase back. Let's just put it that.
Homeless Baron Corbin, I think, is very entertaining. He had there was the really funny thing he posted on Twitter. He was at the club, not the club, the casino, and he's like, "Oh, I just turned my $30 into $100. I can get dinner tonight and maybe a new shirt." I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
he's having fun with it. I'll give him that.
Entertaining. He is entertaining in the role, but
I don't think whatever this sounded like. This sounded like, hey, we need to get Big E on the card.
I'm curious as to what the payoff is going to be.
But I will say this whole show felt. First off, the overall feel. I loved the way that this stadium looked. I've always been a fan of like when the natural daylight is still around. First off, I didn't know that it was going to be in an almost a WrestleMania type arena. Like, I turned it on, I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
So, before we get into everything, let's address one of the bigger issues that, not the show itself, but for everything that happened at the show.
What do you mean?
No pyrotechnics.
Well, apparently that was specifically for a venue thing. They were not going to allow them to have pyrotechnics at the show, so there was nothing really they could have done at that.
So instead, we didn't even really get a stage at all.
Nah.
So, I mean, I'm a fan of like the curved, like, WrestleMania 19 type deals. I've been enjoying it when they do it for the Royal Rumble lately. But this kind of felt slapped together. On top of that, their Wi-Fi went down. People were not able to buy anything to the point where they were just giving food away for free.
Yep.
Also, the toilets were overflowing.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had the whole building just fucking shit itself when the show started.
Damn.
Like, the plumbing went down, their Wi-Fi went down, people weren't able to buy any merch, it was only cash, so only if you decided to bring money with you in your pocket were you going to be buying anything. They started giving concessions away for free, so the whole building was having a shit show while the shit show was happening.
Yes. Speaking of shit show, we open up SummerSlam with the Raw Tag Team Championship match. RK Bro, who apparently broke up and then got together. Week. So there's that. They're taking on the team of AJ Styles and Omos, the greatest tag team of all time.
I didn't hate this match.
No, I thought this was fun, actually.
I thought it was too short.
I thought it was perfect.
Really? I was really hoping for more Riddle and AJ Styles.
You don't want... Like, I know how much I talk about Omos and how much I love him, but at the same time...
Why do you like Omos so much?
He's fucking great. He comes out, big chain, big jacket, looking like a beast, looking like $1,000,000. Like, how could you not love him? And
So,
plus, he does...
Hold on. This almost the ZZW confirmed?
Maybe.
Jesus Christ. I loved Matt Riddle having his own like snakeskin attire to match Randy Orton's.
Just a big old Orton mark.
This was like I said, it was a fun little tag match. Where I thought, hey, we are on to a good start. Well, it ended after that.
So yeah, Orton and Riddle, they get the tag belts. Gets a pretty good pop, too. Like, the crowd really are into RK Bro, so that's good.
Or are you not? It's one of the only really good things that they have.
On Raw,
Yeah.
In general in that company.
But, like you said, after that, the rest of the show...
There's one good match we'll talk about. Besides that, woof.
All right, so let's start. Next match.
Oh, man.
Eva Marie taking on Alexa Bliss.
Why was this a fucking match?
So I'll take this one due to the fact that I am the Bliss fit.
Also, I refuse to call Piper Niven Dewdrop.
So the whole feud started after Eva was invited to the playground, and she started making fun of Lily, and Lily got mad.
Who the fuck is Lily?
Alexa Bliss's doll.
That fucking Cynthia-looking doll has a name?
Yep.
Yes, her name is Lily, and they were selling her at the SummerSlam Superstore, along with Lily Jack in the Boxes, and there were people in the crowd who bought that fucking thing, and you wasted your money, you idiots! Fucking idiots! And I'm the Bliss fit here, and I just, what the fuck is this? The only good thing about this match, it was good to see Bliss in gear again.
She brought the gear back at Money in the Bank, remember?
Yes, but then, like, she's been on Raw wrestling, and she still wrestles in the dress.
Well, it's like big match gear then.
Yeah, I guess. Well, she's going to be fighting Charlotte, apparently, now.
Oh, great.
But we'll get to that too, because that's... yeah, so the only memorable things in this match, Eva Marie does one move, and it's hitting... So, okay, let me get... I gotta get this out of the way, because I was already, like, I need to drink more now. Eva Marie does nothing in this match.
She just kind of hits her and then taunts, like, right after.
She hits her and taunts. Bliss is, like, down doing her spidery walkie thing. Eva grabs Lily.
Yep.
She slaps Lily.
Uh-huh.
Then she slaps Bliss with Lily, but it's not a disqualification?
Nope.
How does that make sense?
Referee's discretion, Adam.
What the fuck, referee's discretion? It's a foreign object. She hit her with a doll and a DQ. Ding, ding, ding. What?
Can you imagine the match ending like that, though?
But it's
That's
rules.
like
You gotta follow the.
Adam, that's like the equivalent of getting hit with a pillow in a wrestling match.
But it's still a foreign object.
It's a
Listen, but here's the thing. Right, but this is the same company that disqualified Rhea Ripley when she accidentally threw the goddamn announce table case onto Charlotte, and they got disqualification. But the blatant hit you in the face with the doll, nah, that's cool.
Adam, I think you're making a big deal out of something that isn't.
I need something.
So,
Alexa goes, ah! Eva goes, ah! And Alexa wins.
Alexa kicks Eva in the groin and then DDTs her and then wins.
And then afterwards, Piper Niven announces Eva Marie is the loser and then leaves.
She takes her robe and then leaves.
Yeah, she took her robe, and Eva's like, I made her. The crowd were happy for Alexa because, you know,
And
Alexa.
now I hear Piper Niven might be joining up with Natalya and Tamina.
You know what? That'd be work a lot better.
My issue with Alexa is the same issue that the crowd have with Nikki. We love Alexa. We love Nikki. We hate what Alexa and Nikki are doing.
Yes.
Because that's the thing. Alexa comes out and the crowd's like, yeah, Bliss, yeah, let's go. Because people just love Alexa Bliss. And then she does weird Wyatt stuff. And also, whose idea was it to have her sit cross-legged in the ring the day after Punk came back? Because immediately CM Punk chants happened.
Probably Vince McMahon.
Immediately CM Punk chants broke,
Probably
and then
Vince.
we want Wyatt chants. This match fucking sucked. And god damn it. Ah!
Okay, what was next?
After this, we get a backstage interview segment real quick with one Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell fame. He drops the F-bomb during his
Wait, what?
introduction. Yeah, he said, I've been watching WWE since the WWF days.
Oh, that F word.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, did he fuck up too? Because somebody else we're gonna mention celebrity wise completely fucked up her whole backstage segment.
Well, he just was like congratulating RK Bro. Riddle's like very much happy to win the belt. Orton was like, I couldn't care
Whatever.
less, but Riddle did good. So that's it.
They're great. I love them together.
After this, though, United States Championship match, Damian Priest, the Archer of Infamy.
Not a match. I was really upset at the last match and I was like, nope, I don't want to see these two wrestle. This isn't going to make me happy. So I was like here and there. I know Priest won, whatever.
This match had no heat. That was the problem.
It had no heat because
I'm glad Priest won, though.
Yeah, me too.
I still don't see it.
I liked Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor, which is pretty much the only reason why when Priest does anything, I feel a little bit happy for. But other than that, it's like, yeah, I don't get the Archer of Infamy gimmick. I don't get what it's supposed to be. I like him.
He is still the guy that teamed with Bad Bunny. And that is not how you present a star. By being like, yeah, he's the guy that teamed with the celebrity. That was overshadowed by the celebrity. And then also here's Sheamus.
So the whole story is that Priest broke Sheamus's nose. So Sheamus was very protective of his face. So they worked a lot of face spots in this match. A lot of the match early on was very sloppy, but they were able to pull it back together. They got the crowd into it a little bit near the end there after Priest had knocked off Sheamus's mask again. He hits him with the Crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest. What? It's the Crossroads.
He calls it the Reckoning.
Actually, to be completely honest, it's the roll the dice. Reno created that in WCW. Thank you.
Kill you.
Shout outs to Reno, the Natural Born Thrillers.
Damian Priest wins the United States Championship. Again, I was a big Punishment Martinez fan in Ring of Honor, so I'm happy for him. I still don't get this gimmick, but it's whatever.
Isn't he? He's like a nightclub vampire archer. Spanish.
Yeah. After that,
Whatever.
After that, though, we go. We get a quick commercial for WWE 2K22. We find out the release date, March of 2022. So,
since we are wrestling game people here, any quick thoughts?
I have some thoughts on it.
About the delay?
Yeah, to me, it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. I'm upset that the game is not coming out this year. It means we got another 7 months on 2K19 for all of us. But at the same time, it gives more time for 2K to, make sure the game works, and that we don't have a repeat of 2K20. Because from what I heard, WWE wanted the game to come out in its usual spot.
Yeah, and 2K really had to fight them on it.
Yeah,
and that seems to be an issue.
Yeah, 2K had to fight tooth and nail to tell them we gotta release this game in March.
And I've heard that now that's caused like a rift between 2K and the W, right?
I heard the same thing. It caused a rift between 2K and the WWE. But what I said it to you guys, WWE needs to stop having a temper tantrum about it and realize that now the game's going to release around Mania time next year.
I've said it before. I'm burnt out on 2K19. We've been playing it for
it'll be 4 years. It'll be 4 years when 2K22 comes out.
Fuck.
Wow.
Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm so done with that game. I've literally squeezed everything I can out of 2K19. So 2K22 has to deliver. It has to, or I'm done. Like, I will fully take a break from doing any ZCW or FWA thing related if that is the case. And I mean that with a full heart, because if this game is not good, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, because I've had it. I've had enough.
You'll wait for either the AEW
I
game
will
or the
wait for
Wrestling
the
Code.
AEW game. I will wait for Wrestle Code. However the fuck long that takes, I will wait for it, because I'm literally up to here with 2K at this moment, man. Literally up to here. 2K20 was a giant waste of fucking time, and they've had 2 fucking years to work on this. So either this shit works or it doesn't. But either way, I'm either like continuing or it's I'm done. I'm gone.
They said that their 85% of the roster was scanned, even the ones that were fired. So it looks like we're still going to get people. So maybe we still get the Fiend, who knows? Or I assume we'll get people who don't jump ship. But they said that the next time we are going to get an update is not until January.
Hopefully that's gameplay.
Gameplay, creation suite stuff.
And they're gonna have to really show. They're gonna have to really show out on that.
Yeah. I'll be honest though. There are some things that I want that I wanted 2K22 that were in 2K20, like keep the customizable weapon wheel. I think that was a good idea.
2K20 had a lot of really good ideas. It was just an awful game.
Outlandish arenas like the Hell Arena and the Mad Max inspired arena were good ideas.
But one of the big glaring points, this will be the last thing I say about it, is during the trailer, yeah, cool, the lighting looked better, and yeah, cool, the models were a little bit more updated. But it still has that like plastic feel to it.
What plastic feel?
There's no textures. Like
Well, remember,
everybody
it's
just
still
looks.
it's still a game in development.
But it's the same trailer we get every year. And it's always the same, like, here's like 4 or 5 guys, and they just all still look so plastic and deadpan. Like, I don't know, you've had 2 years to upgrade and give textures to these people. They need to show up on, if January comes and all they've changed is a little thing here and a little thing there, and they've had 2 years to work on this. Granted, if the game works, fuck it, I'll grab it. But like, to everybody who's not doing what we're doing, no one's gonna fucking bat an eye and say, fuck it, I'll just wait for AEW. And at this point, it looks like 2K and WWE are done after this. So what happens after that? God knows what. But that's the end of that. What happened next?
After that, we get to
It is. Oh no, not yet. Okay.
tag team title match. The Usos defending against the Mysterios.
I
Dominic and Rey.
didn't watch this because I don't want to watch it for the 17th time.
I thought this was pretty good. It wasn't as good as their Money in the Bank kickoff match, but
I
it was
personally,
still...
I personally think WWE did this ass backwards.
What do you mean?
I think it should have been the Usos who took the titles off of Ziggler and Rude and have them hold the belts until SummerSlam and then have them lose the belts to Rey and Dominic. Can you imagine what that crowd reaction would have been like?
Yeah, but again, they really wanted to do the whole Bloodline holds all the titles in front of the crowd thing for SmackDown. So it is what it is.
Like, for fuck's sake. This is the 17th match that they've had.
Yeah.
17 times since the Usos have been back, and they haven't been back very long. 17 times, whether singles or tag team. Nobody cared about this because we've seen it already.
Yeah.
Like, it's not impressive. Like, yeah, the match could be good, but any match is good. But if it happens like 17 times and it's the same good match, it becomes kind of just boring. Nothing new, nothing interesting. Dominic is still very green.
He is which is why I don't think they really didn't let him do much in this match. He was very much in there to just like take the heat, and then Mysterio, gets all the glory. It didn't go very long, and the Usos took a good majority of it. Even when Rey was making this hot tag, the Usos cut him off. And the match, I thought, kind of ended abruptly. Rey tries to go for a springboard crossbody. He gets super kicked out of midair. Jay goes to the top, hits a second Uso splash. 1, 2, 3. The Usos retain the belts. I thought this was all right. To this point, this was the best match on the card, but that's not saying much because I didn't really care for anything else. Yeah, not much could be said. The Usos retain. I think this might be the last time we see Dom and Rey go for the titles for a little bit because there seems to be some infighting between the two. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, let's break up another tag team of our already non-existent tag division.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
But after that, though, we get a backstage segment.
This is the one with Tiffany Haddish, right?
Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish could have given less a shit to be here tonight.
Give a fuck.
First off, she calls it the SummerSlam. Then she says, introducing the national champion. Damian Priest. Damian Priest walks up. She then says, how does it feel to be WWE champion?
She ain't fucking
They cut away from this so quick.
They didn't give a shit.
She was there for a paycheck. There is, I went back to watch the Alexa Bliss match again for some reason. And there's a point in the background where she's behind the commentary table, and Alexa's making her entrance, and everybody around her is standing up and cheering, and she is on her phone. She was not here for anything but a paycheck.
Yeah, Tiffany didn't care. She messes up everything. They cut away pretty quick.
Best part of the night.
After that, though, Rick Boogs comes out.
What the hell was this?
I don't fucking know.
What the hell was this? I mean, I loved it because I love Rick Boogs.
I was confused because I was like, oh, I didn't know fucking Nakamura had a match on SummerSlam. And so Rick Boogs is playing him out. Nakamura's just making his entrance. They stop by the commentary desk and they're rocking out with Pat, like always. And then Cole just goes like, all right, well, the women's championship match is coming up next. Like, wait, what?
What the fuck? What was the point of this?
Why did he come out?
And this was just like on top of like why I was like, this kind of feels Mania to me. Like you had the Olympic medalists, they had like a whole entrance that led to nothing. Like I think on the pre-show.
That was the thing, though. Vince wanted to make this SummerSlam feel like a second Mania, considering what happened at the first Mania. It can really do all the other shit now that we're kind of like.
Do you think maybe this is going to be a thing going forward for SummerSlams?
I fucking hope not.
Where like they're going to feel Mania-esque and they're going to go like 5 hours.
Considering what Nick Khan said and about like longer shows gets them more revenue, I won't be shocked if we're going to be seeing more of this shit.
Nick Khan said that he wishes Raw was 8 hours.
Yeah.
I'd kill myself.
8 hours or Raw or 4?
He said he wanted Raw to be 4 hours. He wanted SmackDown to be 8 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, I don't know. I love Nakamura. I love Rick Boogs.
I hated this.
What? I didn't hate it. I just was like,
no.
Why?
Every single
you
time.
don't like Rick Boogs, and you're wrong for that. And you're wrong for that.
He sucks.
He's awesome. He's Rick Boogs.
So Nakamura used to be the coolest wrestler in the world.
He's so cool now. He's got Rick Boogs. He's a king. No. He wears white. He's got the IC title. He looks like a G. And now we have to talk about what we got to talk about.
So, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks.
So for 8 days, they knew. For 8 days, 8 days, they knew Sasha wasn't going to be there.
Let's build this up a bit. So they play the video package. Bianca and Sasha, they haven't said anything. This match is like they promoted this match all the way up until this point. This match is scheduled to happen. So, obviously, Bianca comes out first, champ out first, and once she gets in the ring, then, like you said, 8 days. They've known for 8 days Sasha was not going to be on this card. They knew for a fact that Sasha Banks was not cleared to wrestle. So they wait until this exact very moment to announce Sasha Banks is not going to be able to compete in this match. Therefore, Bianca Belair will be facing off against this person. And everybody's waited with bated breath. And there's like, oh, God. Oh, she's coming. Oh, we know where this is leading to. We're about to see her. And it's Carmella.
Carmella, who, by the way, the booking alone makes no sense. Because on Friday, Carmella lost in under 3 minutes to Bianca Belair.
I couldn't believe it. I literally couldn't believe it. I was like, you can't be serious. This has to be a joke. Like, even for them.
And you know what? A good thing, at least at the start, it was a joke.
It was.
Because then here comes Becky.
Whoa!
And I was jumping for joy. I was all kinds of happy. My girl's back. Becky's back. I wish it just ended there.
I
wish it just ended there. Oh my God, why?
So Becky comes back. She gets in the ring, immediately dumps Carmella out, takes her out of the equation, challenges Bianca for the women's championship.
Deliberately says, let's blow the roof off tonight.
Yeah, said, let's do this. Bianca thinks about it. She's like, all right, you're on, let's go. So, SmackDown Women's Championship on the line. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's title. Holy shit! We're about to see a fucking barn burner. Both women circle the ring for a little bit. Becky extends her hand, goes for the handshake. Bianca reaches out, gets the handshake. Becky immediately blindsides her with the forearm, turns her around. Uranage, 1, 2, 3. New SmackDown Women's Champion.
And
Becky
also,
Lynch.
Becky Heel is now a heel.
She is now a heel, according to what is being announced by Fightful and The Observer.
And it's also being reported that it was Becky's idea.
What the fuck?
So let's look in the contrast here of a tale of two stories. Let's look at CM Punk. Let's look at Becky Lynch. What the fuck? Becky, arguably, if not the most over person, male or female, in this company.
Yeah.
People have been waiting for her to return since WrestleMania. And people have been waiting for her and Bianca to fight. Because that's going to be something big. Becky comes out, big surprise. That's all fine. There are 18 different ways they could have gone about this. And it would have been better than Bianca getting squashed at SummerSlam. What the fuck? What the hell are we doing? What is this? You want Becky to be a heel? That's fine. Becky can be heel. Even though it's extremely fucking stupid to have Becky be heel. Because the crowd are still probably going to cheer for her. Or maybe not because they buried Bianca. But the crowd fucking still cheered when Becky won the belt. So I don't know what the fuck. Why are we trying? You know? And this is why I was excited to talk about this with you, Sahaya. Because you know what this screams to me?
What?
Stone Cold WrestleMania 17. It never works.
It's not the same.
It is the same. Austin, the biggest guy at the time, turns heel, and guess what happened? They lose revenue. Becky comes back, hot as fuck. Now she's a heel.
I doubt.
Why are we doing this?
I doubt they're going to lose revenue from this.
Why is this the case? Bianca, who people love, Bianca, gets squashed, buried in a match that wasn't even supposed to happen. It makes Bianca look like a fucking idiot. All of this, all of it, the 8 days of not knowing Sasha, you could have had on SmackDown be like, Sasha can't make it, guys. Tomorrow night, Bianca's got a mystery opponent. Build the suspense. Then Becky shows up. First off, big surprise. But also, don't have this be a squash. Or even, you still have Carmella come out. And, you know, it would have sucked to have that be the match. But maybe Carmella gets squashed by Bianca. Why the fuck not? Make the champ look strong. And then Becky shows up. And then Becky attacks Bianca. And then Becky's a heel. And guess what? Everybody looks great. Instead, Bianca looks like garbage. Becky's now right back in she's the golden girl again, which means everybody else is never going to get anything ever again out of it. She's a heel, which is stupid. All of this was fucking so messed up. Becky comes out, I'm happy as hell. Becky wins the belt, and I'm like, huh?
It's again where it's like this company only knows how to create moments. Like, and whether that's good or bad, like, that's all they know. It's like, how can we capture something in this particular moment and not think about it further down the line. Which is always what fucking shoots them in the foot in the fucking first place. But it's a great example because they will run back video packages, Becky winning 20 seconds, and the crowd shots them all being shocked and whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh, what a moment! What a fucking moment!" And they'll do that, and it's like this won't matter. It won't matter because they can just flip the narrative whenever they want because they have that technology and they're not afraid to fucking use it. So it's at the end of this is a losing war, no matter how much you look at it.
At this point in the show, this happened, and I downed my drink, and I was pretty much faded for the rest of the show because I was so done. I was like, this show up to this point has been extremely lackluster. Nothing has got my attention since the goddamn opening tag title match. This show doesn't feel like a SummerSlam. It feels like a goddamn cash grab. Awesome, Becky's back. Okay, cool, I'm back. I'm pumped. This shit's awesome. She squashes Bianca. Why?
It makes it even better because what follows it is an advertisement for Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
We're going back to Saudi Arabia, baby.
How do you completely shit on how do we shit on an entire moment by having people remember that we're still going back to Saudi Arabia?
Yep.
This fucking company ceases to amaze me.
It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. They outdo themselves almost like every fucking year. It's incredible. It's fucking art form at this point.
Yeah, but it's like outdoing themselves in like the wrong way. It's like watching like a bad movie.
Like, how can you keep topping yourselves in the horrible shit that you do, and yet you keep finding a way to do it?
You know what the best part is? They top themselves even more. The show isn't even fucking over yet.
Nope. After this, though, we get the introduction.
Oh, well, hold on.
Okay.
V hasn't talked a lot, but I want to know V's opinion on the whole Bianca and Becky thing.
Oh, you guys summed it up for me.
You have any thoughts, though? Or?
No. Not really.
It's just a bad moment. It's just a bad moment.
All right. At this point...
Still is.
At this point, yeah. The only real marketable person that they had that isn't John Cena was Becky. And now we're going to be like, nope, now you're a bad guy. Let's make everybody hate you. For what reason? For what reason? Because there's going to be people, just like when Austin turned heel, that aren't going to boo her, are still going to be on her side no matter what she does. It's going to backfire on them just like it did last time. It's fucking stupid, and it makes no sense.
It is stupid.
At this point, V, in the show, how are you feeling about SummerSlam?
I was hoping it would get better.
Well, it doesn't. I believe next...
It gets a little bit near the very
There's one good match that we have to talk about, and that's it.
But
after this, I think was Drew and Jinder.
They introduced the two
the Olympic people. Yeah.
Old Tanasha. Hold on. I need to get her name. It is Tamira Minsha Stock and Gable Stevenson, the two gold medalist winners for the USA in wrestling. We know that WWE have been very much been wanting to get Gable Stevenson, and Gable Stevenson has been showing a lot of interest in going for WWE. So they're hoping to get him in very soon.
Have you watched any of his actual wrestling?
Nope.
Well, there's that.
If he won a gold medal, I'm pretty sure he's somewhat good.
Hey, we never know. We could have the...
Yeah, They have.
They have him, but they won't use him.
Jack Gable.
Mhm.
So,
But
then I think
now-
it's
I couldn't fucking believe this, to be quite honest. Like, after the Becky shit, I was like, oh, man, I don't even know. Like, I don't know if I want to continue. Like, I don't know what. Like, I was still pissed. I was still pissed off that happened. And then I see a fucking graphic saying, up next, Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. I was like, no! Absolutely not. I walked my dogs out. Fucking took them on a walk. Had the fucking little one took a shit, took a pee, came back. The match was over. Drew won.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention either. I think I ended up playing a game of Super Smash Brothers while this was happening because I said no. From what I saw from the highlights, Drew beat up Jinder. Drew hit him with a Claymore, and we went home.
Yep.
Oh, and then after the match, Drew almost cut fucking the big one's head off with a sword.
Amazing.
I think his name is Shanky or Shankly or
and Veer.
yeah, whatever. Well, the really tall one the really, really tall one literally almost got decapitated because he didn't jump in time. That was the most exciting part about this. Fuck it, I guess. What a way to turn Drew into nothing, just like everybody else on this card.
So after this, as if the booking on the show can get any worse, surprise, it does. Triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair versus the Raw Women's Champion Nikki A.S.H.
Who came out to zero reaction.
Jeez. Nobody cares.
Nobody
just go back
cares.
to being Nikki Cross already.
No, because we have to sell merchandise.
And
apparently
from what I hear, the Nikki Ash gimmick was her idea.
It was.
We need to start taking credibility here that just because a wrestler comes up with an idea doesn't mean it's good.
No. And by God, did this match prove that she got fucking Charlotte and Rhea outworked her ass in this match. Like, this crowd, they cared for everything that Charlotte and Rhea did, and they didn't give a fuck about Nikki.
Which is sad, because Nikki's really good.
She is.
But, like I said, this should have always been, if they wanted to do the superhero thing, they should have went Mighty Molly with it, or they should have went Hurricane with it.
And
Instead,
it's made even worse, because they made Charlotte look like the biggest baby face on earth in this fucking match.
Which is weird, because she was wearing Thanos gear.
She was fighting off Rhea and Nikki 2-on-1. She was kicking their asses. She did the fucking twirling moonsault to the outside. She was getting fired up. She was kipping up. She was fucking firing away.
She won.
Biggest babyface. Yeah, she won. She put Nikki in the fucking figure 8, and Nikki tapped out. This inspirational, almost supposed to be superhero, where she encourages people to never give up on their dreams because they'll almost get.
She gave up,
and she taps,
and she gives up, and the crowd actually cheered for Charlotte. So to anybody who were like, "Oh, Charlotte's gonna get they're gonna punish her for going to AAA and missing the house show." Well, fuck all that.
No, Women's Championship number 14, I believe it is.
It's technically 14. But it's
I heard that
it's 12.
Her NXT Women's Championship
so
runs anymore.
Technically, she's a 14-time women's champion, but now she's only a 12-time women's champion by WWE standards because NXT doesn't matter anymore.
What the fuck ever? Like, what?
And the thing is, this match was fine.
It was alright.
But the thing is, we've seen it every week on Raw.
They literally fight every fucking week on Raw. Like, in some sort, it's either Rhea or Nikki or Charlotte or Rhea, in that order.
The build up to it. And here's the thing is...
And now from what I've seen on Raw, they might be making Nikki Ash and Rhea Ripley a tag team.
Because fuck it, I guess.
I guess so.
Oh my god, is she gonna become like her Rosie?
Superhero trading, aka
Uh,
shit.
how do we kill Rhea Ripley? By making her a superhero.
Yeah,
Just
buddy.
like we kill everything else that we have. And the thing is, the build to this match was Nikki kept getting her ass kicked. So you would think the smart booking would be Nikki overcomes the odds and takes on both of them. Instead, it was Charlotte who was doing that role, and Charlotte wins. Who was wearing Thanos gear?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Like
so, what was next?
What?
Oh,
well, what's next? We got the WWE fucking title. What is...
No, after this, it was Edge versus Seth Rollins.
Oh, that was next?
Yeah.
Oh, that match was good.
This
was the only good thing. This is the only good thing in the whole fucking card.
This match was fantastic. Seth comes out. He's coming down.
From what I understand.
Yeah. He pretty much has one of the worst themes in wrestling right now. So fuck that. But that's not what we're here for. Because the best part of this, Edge comes out to his fucking Brood theme song and with the
entrance
sunglasses and
he comes up from the ground in the fire. It was awesome. This was so fucking cool. I wish the whole show was like this.
This was great, bro.
And then it kicks into the regular Edge theme. This crowd is just fucking finally alive. This crowd is finally alive for something since the Matt Riddle match.
So,
and this was a really good match.
Yeah, so the basic story of this was that Seth is trying to end Edge's career. Like the repaired neck of Edge, and he's trying to stomp it. He's trying to take it down. He's trying to weaken it as much as possible. So he's bouncing his head off against the steel steps. All of his moves are targeted to the back of the head and neck of Edge. He tries to go for the stomp multiple times. Edge just barely dodges out of it multiple times. Edge eventually fights back, though. He starts coming back. He hits all the classics. He hits the Executioner. He hits the Educator. He even pulls out the fucking Glam Slam out of fucking nowhere.
That was great.
That was so good. Seth again tries to go for a stomp again. Edge was able to counter it. He puts him into a crossface. And Seth tries to reach for the ropes. Edge turns it around, cranks it, gets the tap out with the crossface. So,
yeah, I was really surprised by that.
I know that he's been using it a lot, so I guess that's just going to be like a secondary finisher for him. So I'm fine with it.
Probably doesn't put as much strain on the neck as the spear would.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's a shout out to Chris Benoit.
No, it's not.
Well, it was for me.
Don't do this, Adam. Don't have this be the end for us here. But after that, I thought this was fantastic.
This is the only really good, like I said, besides the opening tag title match, it's the only other good thing on the entire show. This was a 5-hour show, and there was 2 good things that equal about, 26 minutes?
Yeah.
On a 5-hour show!
After this match, we go straight into the WWE Championship match. Nothing really happened after this.
This match sucked! This match sucked!
Bobby Lashley
can't work! He's old!
Bobby Lashley.
He got gassed!
Bobby Lashley taking on NTA legend Old Turd.
Okay, so
why?
There were 1,000. There were like 2-3 ways that I thought this match was going to go in my head. Like either Goldberg beats him fast, Lashley beats him fast, or something, or some fuck shit's going to happen near the end of it.
We got fuck shit.
Well, we did get fuck shit, but
stupid shit.
These two worked a match. Like,
yeah, why are they
Jimmy-
working a match?
I don't know. Like,
This is not the whole build has just been angry big men, and instead they wrestled.
Why?
And the worst part is, it wasn't good wrestling
No,
because
it wasn't.
Goldberg can't wrestle.
It fucking sucks. Nobody comes out to see Goldberg to see him do shoulder block.
Oh, well, because remember, the whole story about this match isn't even about the fucking title. It's proving to his kid that he's not old.
Yeah.
So he wrestles. He looks like shit.
Well, I'm not like
the fucking kid goes to school and all his friends make fun of him for his dad being a fucking idiot. And then the ending. Oh my god, the ending. Goldberg's whole mystique should just be over at this point.
So
MVP hits him with a cane, and it takes
Exactly.
Goldberg like 3 seconds to realize, oh, I gotta sell the leg now. Oh, ow! Oh no! Ow! My leg is broken. I'm Goldberg. I guess I can't wrestle anymore. The match is over.
And then fucking Lashley takes out the leg. He hits him with the chop block. He rams his leg into the LED post a bunch of times. Works over the leg. Gets back to the ring. Still working over the leg. Referee actually has to pull off Lashley. Check on Goldberg. Calls for the bell. Lashley wins this one by fucking referee stoppage.
Referee stoppage in the WWE title match with Goldberg.
And then what happened was even more ridiculous.
And it's not even like referee stoppage in like a cool way where he like passed out or anything. No, it's because MVP hit him with his cane.
Very lightly with his cane, and fucking Goldberg's like, oh, that's the end of my career, I guess. And so, as if this whole thing couldn't get any dumber, Lashley starts going to town on Goldberg. Again, he's not done. But who should come into the ring and jump on Lashley's back than fucking... What's the fucking kid's name?
I don't know.
Gage? Yeah.
Is his name Gage?
Yeah, it's Gage Goldberg.
All right, well, we need Nick Gage to kill this kid.
So Gage jumps on Lashley's back. Lashley immediately turns around and puts him in the hurt lock. And just won't let go. He's like, and MVP's like, Lashley, for fuck's sake, that's a child. He's like, oh shit. So he lets him go.
Yeah, and then Lashley is concerned. It's like, no, why is Lashley concerned? He's a beast. And then MVP's like, oh, and Bobby Lashley had no idea that was Goldberg's kid. That could have been anyone. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He was in the front row. What the fuck?
And so, apparently, this is not the end. This is only the beginning.
Yeah, because Goldberg's going to beat him in Saudi Arabia. And Goldberg will once again ruin wrestling, just like he ruined The Fiend in Saudi Arabia. He's going to ruin poor Bobby Lashley.
And Raw will not have a champion for the next year because Goldberg will have run out his 2-match deal.
He only has 2 matches left he has confirmed on his deal. Only 2.
So it'll be this match,
and
Saudi
Mania.
Arabia, and Mania,
and Mania, which means are we honestly not going to have a WWE champion on Raw for
6 months?
6 months.
6 months.
That's not going to happen.
Yo, you goddamn right, it's gonna happen.
And then look, we got to talk about what the fuck's happening on SmackDown because we have to get to that main event, and then that's another part-time situation. What the fuck is happening?
Alright, so, shitty ending, shitty match. Is whatever.
Shitty everything.
So, now it is time for our main event of the evening. It is Roman Reigns and John Cena for the WWE Universal Champion.
Get it out of the way. I thought this match was okay. I didn't hate it.
See,
the only thing I hated was the story of John Cena being the underdog. John Cena!
That's the thing, though. They were wrestling this match. Like, we traveled back to time in 2007 where all Cena does is sell for like 15 minutes and then does his comeback and then he's like, whatever. And you know what? Fine. You want to put Roman over like that, whatever. But it was like, I mentioned this before, they played up the fact that all Cena had to do was pin Roman. Like, that was the story. All he had to do, he's got to beat him for a count of 3. So what does he do? He tries to go for a bunch of roll-ups to try to get the 3 count fast. And, you know, it's like, fine. If that's the story you want to go with, cool. But it kind of wears itself out when all fucking Cena knows how to do is a goddamn small package and a schoolboy.
Like, and this is John Cena, who is a good wrestler. And I remember him and Roman's first match being pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
But this whole match was like playing a guy online in 2K. Just quick small package. We'll go for the roll-up. I'll go for the small package pin on. I'm going to go for regular pinfall. It's like, we get it.
Yeah.
You got to let the match breathe a little bit as well here. But no, the whole thing was roll up, small package, AA, roll up. Like, why is... I understood the story, but why is the match like this?
It doesn't, like, I'm just going to say this now. I am completely over the Roman Reigns trash talk. Like, I'm over it. Like,
No,
I get
Roman's
it.
great.
I get
But
it.
The issue right now with Roman for me is that this is getting stale.
It is getting stale. Like, I liked it when he was doing it with fucking Jay, because it was like, of course he was overconfident. Like, he's the main eventer, and like Jay's like this tag team dude. So it's all like, yeah, of course he's going to be fucking overconfident.
He's with Kevin.
Does he have to do that now with everybody? Literally,
Well, he's
everybody?
now officially beaten everyone. And it looks, and you know, long story short, Roman wins. Brock's back.
Brock is back.
That was really cool to see, because unlike the Becky one, this was actually unexpected. Because
This dude looks like a freak.
he looks fucking awesome.
He's yoked
He
out.
looks like he's a Viking.
He's yoked out of his fucking mind, dude.
He's a Viking. He's gonna kill people. Here's the only issue. We've seen this
Yes.
so many times.
Yeah.
And I know that the difference now is Brock's going to be a babyface and Paul Heyman's with Roman.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
Yeah.
The matches itself are going to be the same. And like you said, is Brock the one that's going to beat Roman? And if that happens, are you telling me both brands, world champions, are going to be part-timers?
Well, you know what the match they want to do is. Like, you know what the match, like, where they want to go with this. Like, obviously, Roman versus Rock at Mania is their money match.
Where does this leave Big E?
I honestly have no fucking clue.
Unless we're going to get the dream match of Big E and Goldberg.
If that's the case, I'm all for it. Because that's like Big E's whole thing. And I don't like Goldberg, but I like Big E, and that's what he wants. So I'm 100% okay with that.
But if that's not where that's going, and Big E's going to be another failed cash-in,
that would break my heart.
Yeah, no, I agree. But like, the big feuds you're looking at in the future for your fall season are Brock and Roman, and probably Goldberg and Bobby still. So much for fucking new talent. And then what happens if Roman does beat Brock? Do you immediately pull the trigger and have Big E cash in? Because then who the fuck is next? And I guess with the draft happening, he'll have a whole new crop of people to beat. But like, I love the head of the table stuff, and I love Roman, and this is all great. But I'm getting tired of every feud being the fucking same. And now Brock's back. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's the same.
It's the same.
It's the same. Yeah, cool, bro. I'm like I mentioned it on Twitter. Becky's back. Brock's back. That's awesome. Love them both. But I don't care because I know nothing good is about to come of it. We saw what happened with Becky. Look what's gonna happen with Brock. Fucking Goldberg, I guess.
Yeah. It is what it is. I've accepted it. I like Brock. I like Brock and Roman's matches usually, but it's like you said, we've seen it since 2015.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to do something else here. We have to, and we got to build up a new baby face because there's literally no one believably on that smack.
What they're going to do is instead of building a new babyface, they're just going to pick somebody out off of Raw, draft him to SmackDown, and there you go. We have to do no work. I would not be surprised if Drew gets drafted to SmackDown and they just feed him to Roman.
It's whatever.
All in all, this show sucked.
This show is awful.
This show was so boring. There was, like I said, 2 good things on the entire show. 2 good things. And Tiffany Haddish fucked up, and that was funny. But, besides that, what a waste of 5 hours.
Just
The only good thing about it, actually, was the fact that it was on a Saturday, and I could sleep the next day and not have to care.
yeah. Just absolutely unnecessary is a good word for it.
So, not just like so many bad decisions throughout the whole night. And the worst part is it never stopped. It wasn't like bad decision, okay, they make up for it and we got back on track. No, it was bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. We got Roman, we got Seth and Edge, awesome. Bad decision, bad decision. What was there to take away from this show with that you liked from a die-hard perspective? Brock's back. Okay, cool. But now you know where Brock's going. Are you really that excited? I'm not. Oh, Becky's back. They fucked that up in less than 2 minutes of her already being back. Goldberg, son, he's not Hook.
Does he even
Hook
wrestle?
stand, stay strong. No! It's not even like a Hook situation where, yeah, he's already training or like Dominic. No! This kid has no interest in being a wrestler. He just likes being there because his dad. Alexa Bliss match doesn't end in a DQ after getting hit with a doll. Still makes me mad.
Well, if it makes you feel better, according to Pro Wrestling Unlimited, Piper Niven's facing Eva Marie next week.
Fine, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to watch it because I haven't watched a weekly episode of either of these fucking things in fucking months at that. Wait, no. I think I watched the Cena episode where he came back for SmackDown. But that was only because Cena was back.
Also, apparently, John Morrison and The Miz broke up as a team.
Fuck it. I guess why not? Because, we didn't even mention that! We didn't even mention the stupid ass fucking moist cannon thing that happened.
No, God, this whole thing's gone on long enough.
Shout outs to Xavier Woods with the sick Razor Ramon cosplay though. That was awesome.
This SummerSlam show gets a 4 out of 10, and I never watch again.
A 4 out of 10.
I liked.
You're
Edge.
generous.
I liked Edge, and I liked Edge and Rollins. I liked RK Bro winning the tag titles, and Roman and Cena for what it was all right.
I give the show a fucking 3. One of the worst WWE shows I've seen all year.
Vpok, any number rating for you?
Same thing, 3.
All right.
Should not be what your SummerSlam should be getting.
Yeah.
No.
It should not. Yeah. This SummerSlam is supposed to be the second biggest show next to WrestleMania. And
Yeah. Just doesn't really feel like Mania, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Well,
Fucking shell. But what else? What I mean, yeah. What?
Well, with that, that's about going to do it for us here on the Four Post Massacre Podcast. What a week of wrestling it has been. A lot of big returns, big shows, good or bad. Just a lot to fucking talk about here and a lot to discuss. They're very, very hyped to see what's coming up in the next month after all this. Because, Jesus Christ.
It's not stopping anytime soon.
Yep.
For at least one company.
For Eris, you can watch him. He's currently on shows like UWL. Is he on New Japan Call Wrestling as well?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, he's starting to do commentary for New Dawn Pro and CMC, so you can check him out there. Downtown Jason Brown. We already mentioned it before, but UWL. He has both an ACW and DW main canon. Both links will be in the description below. And he's got a main Twitter as well for both shows and just for wrestling in general. Jacob Baker, you can also hear on pretty much almost everywhere. UWL, he's on SCA, he's on CMC, DCA. So expect to hear a lot more from him. VPOC, do you want to tell these people where they can find?
Yeah, V, you didn't get to do this last week. So
you can catch me as Vincent Cipriani and CCL and DCA and UWL. I also run my own fed, UCWL. I'm also
Twitter.
No, private.
All right.
And Adam, is there anything substantial you would like to add before we close out this episode of the Four Post Massacre Podcast?
Yes. First off, I figured out a name. I'm CM Blunt. Thank you, John Blackos. Yeah, see, it took me a whole time, but I figured it out, baby. Wrestling, I like to be the guy here at the end who puts a little bit of the happiness spin on things. And we are in a extreme, I think I say this all the time, but we are in such a fruitful period in our wrestling fandom. Me, you, the fans, everybody here, to the lapsed fans that are now coming back because CM Punk is here, and hell, when Daniel Bryan shows up and everything, to the fans that are still already paying attention and following along. The next few months, the next few years are about to shape an entire new outlook on what wrestling was. Fuck sports entertainment. It's dead. And it doesn't need to exist anymore. Take this SummerSlam show as the perfect example of what that company really wants to be, and look at somebody like AEW and see that they want wrestling to exist again. And that's what we're going to be getting. And CM Punk being back is a huge deal. And anybody who thinks that that's not a big point and that he didn't move a needle or whatever that shit, you're all about to get wrong. When AEW in a few years, honestly, in my opinion, eclipses the W, because the W is going to get sold, my friends. It's not going to be here for much longer. Oh, and Andrade wrestles in pants.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at the Four Post Massacre Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And in the immortal words of one Paul White, take care, spike your hair, because that's the bottom line. Because that's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Space Jam.